Hey everybody, welcome to Bass University Live. A little bit of a slow start tonight, but we're glad to be with you guys. Glad you guys could be here. We've got a great show. There's so much going on right now this time of year in fishing. It's one of my favorite times of year as we're moving into the fall season just a little bit. Coming off a lot of fishing, a lot of tournaments. Ike's been active, BTC's been active. Of course, Riz is always busy, and we're going to be talking with those guys about all that stuff. And JK is going to be with us tonight, remote from Georgia, with a very special guest, Tiger Huffman from Gillz Gear. Gillz Gear, the official gear of Bass University. It's amazing clothing. It really is efficient at allowing you to be able to fish all day with no fatigue, keeping you cool. So comfortable and looks great. Everybody loves our Gillz gear. They're going to be with us tonight, as well as Zack Birge is going to be taking a little time from the professional tour. He's come fresh off of a really strong third-place finish at the Mississippi River, and we're going to be talking to Zack. We're going to be talking about current. Current is going to be our topic tonight, and I don't care what kind of body of water that you fish, it has current. It's wind-driven current. It's current coming out of the river systems that feed it, the feeder creeks, massive amounts of current like BTC and the boys faced up on the St. Lawrence River and all the Great Lakes fisheries. We're going to be talking to Zack about how he fishes current, and we're going to be opening things up to you to ask questions about current. I'm a river rat, right? I fish on the banks of the Delaware River. I grew up there. Been fishing river systems my whole life. Current is something that to me is one of the most predictable ways to catch fish because it positions them in a way that you can predict and where predators should be and makes them catchable. But a lot of people, don't understand current, don't deal with it every day like I do. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. It's a great topic. It's a topic that I love, and so that's our show. And we got all our boys with us tonight. I know we're a little slow to start, but you pulled it off there, BTC. You got us up and running, my brother.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. All right. This button, that button, that other button over there.
Yep. You did it. You pushed the green one, the yellow one.
That's right.
You did it in the right combination, apparently.
Yeah, needed a little bit more of the purple on that line and a little less orange of that thing there, and it seems like we might be doing it.
We're going to talk to you about it tonight. But man, you just came back from fishing a tournament in one of my favorite places on the planet, up at the St. Lawrence River.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to hear all the stories.
You're going to have to wait.
We didn't get a chance to dive in. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear. And congratulations to Chris Johnston. 25 to 27 pounds a day.
That's right.
Of smallmouth.
Not in the river.
Not in the river. Well, a couple in the river. A couple in the river,
Yeah.
According to the folks on the MLF. But most of his fish were caught out on the lake and making huge runs, 2 hours each way.
Yeah.
Corey did extremely well. And second, Atkins third. Ike had a nice derby with, I think he had a 20th place finish fishing in the river, fishing in the current. But I tell you, whether you're fishing in the lake or you're fishing in the river, a lot of current involved in that waterway. A lot of people discount the current that's out in that lake, but I'm telling you right now, the current in that lake is the key to driving that bite just as much as it is in the river system.
Faux show. And we're going to be talking current tonight with Zack, and I'm going to hold it for that because I got some questions for him. So
Yes. And Riz, man, we got all. Well, let me talk about this. Empire Covers, guys. We have an amazing discount at go over to bassu.tv and our pro members offers. You can get, what is it?
150%.
150% off?
15%.
15% off using the code BASSU21.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
Got that right. Go check it out. Whatever you have, whether you're dealing with a bass boat, you need a new cover, yours is starting to leak, Empire Covers make amazing covers. They will protect your gear, whether it's a four-wheeler, whether it's a camper. They make a cover that is going to keep your equipment nice, keep it dry, and keep the value in your stuff that you keep outside. So check out Empire Covers. We're very pleased to have them part of Bass University TV. And we've got a lot of other great things going on tonight. Riz, what else we got going on?
In addition to that, Pete, with Empire Covers tonight, we are actually at the end of the show going to be announcing the winner of the Empire Covers contest. So, guys, if you haven't gotten yourself involved in that yet, all you got to do is either go back to one of the 2 contest posts that we've put out there. The rules are real simple. Follow the Empire Covers page, like the post, tag 2 friends. Pretty standard across the board. And also, I think when we go to our first break, I'm going to get another Empire Covers contest post queued up so that if you guys haven't seen that yet and you want to get involved in the chance to win a Empire Covers up to $300, now's your chance. So, guys, Empire Cover, it's a great product to help you protect your investment. As always, our awesome sponsors of the program are going to be sending out some packages to our subscribers. We got a grand prize going out at the end of the show. That's a $125 prize pack. And also, if you're over on Facebook, we're taking care of you as well. We got a Facebook like and share for a $75 sponsor prize pack. All you got to do is like tonight's feed, share the feed across your board, and you're going to get entered in to win a prize at the end of the show.
And for YouTube, I've got a bag of used Max Scent I might give away.
Ooh, that's actually probably really valuable. All you got to do is cut it in half or something. Those suckers are still probably bite it. So
probably so.
Everybody on that report card from that tournament is Max Scent, right on down the pike, just with few options, or a few others. A couple others mixed, like they might have had a one bait in addition to a Max Scent that they used.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I hadn't seen a tournament dominated like that.
I caught them on other things too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
drop shotting them on other stuff.
So did the Johnson
One thing
brothers.
that Max Scent doesn't provide is translucent colors.
Right.
Translucent baits. So with super clear water, when that matters, sometimes that sight matters a little more.
It's interesting. But you watch, what's his name? Taku, who marinades his stuff in, I don't know, goat's milk and shrimp and I don't know what's in that
Top
container.
ramen shrimp. Yeah.
Top ramen.
But his baits come out of there looking like so bland, so washed out.
Yeah.
And he just can't keep the smallmouth off of them, So
Smallmouth love taku.
This is true.
They speak Japanese, apparently.
Japanese.
But I know we have a trivia question that we're going to be giving away a big prize for that as well. What's the prize for a trivia question?
That's going to be tonight's grand prize at the end of the show. So that's the $125 sponsor pack from all the awesome companies that we work with. And speaking of those awesome companies, guys, right now is a great time to get involved in the Bass University program if you have not already. When you sign up annually right now, you can save 20% on your annual membership and get a $25 gift card shopping spree to Tackle Warehouse. And with that comes the whole member benefits package. That's up to 50% off on some of the companies we work with. 40% off Missile, 40% off Rapala, VMC, all the good stuff, guys. It pays to be a Bass U TV subscriber. Come on, let's watch, learn, and win and catch some more big bass.
Absolutely. Get over there and join the program. Just talked to another Bass University subscriber who's been with us a long time and just giving us a lot of props for how it's helped his fishing. And we hear it a lot, whether I'm at the BFLs or I'm, at the Open, which I'm coming to real soon. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all you guys coming up and talking to me about the program and telling me how it's helped you. And don't be afraid of the criticism. We like that too because it helps us be better. In the product that we're producing.
Just come about that criticism in the right manner. You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
hey,
we want to hear it. Yeah,
as long as you can hear it back, that's
you,
good.
You don't have to be Jersey about it. You know,
that's I'm warning them. Come at me a certain way.
Yeah, that's cool.
Things
But
might happen.
Come
Well,
Jersey,
by the way,
get
my
Jersey.
I'm sorry, Rich.
Come Jersey, get Jersey.
That's right. There you go. My day one partner was a Bass U subscriber.
oh, that's
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah. My day two partner doesn't have the internet. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We've had we get guys that want our program. They're so hungry to learn that they want our program and they don't have the internet and they're trying to figure out how to do it. So
Well, maybe we got to invent internet for those guys. So
we do.
they just got microwave where he's at in Virginia. So
We'll broadcast it to his rabbit ears. We'll get it there. Somehow we'll get it there. But I hear him in the background. Professional fish head, our boy JK Justin Kimmel's with us tonight. How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, great to be back on the show tonight, talking about current. Maybe a little selfish tonight, just because I'm about to dip back into derby mode this month in September, and I think I'm going to be chasing that current probably every single time out there.
Excellent. Current's king, man. It's it moves fish, it pushes fish around, but it can also, like I said, move them. So it's if you struggle with current and don't understand how it works on your body of water, it's a great show. We're going to be talking about it. And from reservoirs to river systems to natural lakes, it's all about current tonight. So, did you fish any current today? You did a little fishing today, JK.
We actually didn't. I took Tiger to a little hole in the wall place where we could have a lake to ourselves, about 50, 60 acre lake where there was no traffic. We fished for about 4 hours. No current except for some wind aided current, I guess. And, it was weird, man. I felt like the fish should have been chomping because of the front, because it was going to rain this afternoon. And, man, there's these bug carcasses all over the top of the water. And when that happens, when I see that, it's like, I feel like the fish, it takes me back to a comment Aaron Martin's made about mayfly hatches. It's like how these fish just sit back and eat Cheez-Its all day. They just snack on little stuff all day, and they don't want to eat. The fish were not in a good mood. It took a really good reaction bite to catch the biggest fish of the day, which was caught by Tiger, who brought his saltwater gear and his saltwater lures and was very stubborn that he was going to do it. And guess what? He did it. May have opened my eyes to a new little toy that we might use. So that's really cool.
Justin, what are the odds you share that with us? Because I know how you are.
I bet Tiger's going to share it. I bet he's going to give it up because he doesn't care like us. He's a redfish. He's a red fisherman. So
there's a little bit of crossover in red fishing and bass fishing.
A whole lot.
Yeah, there's a little bit for sure, man. And Tiger was telling me stories about all the redfish tournaments he fishes, and man, that's bucket list for me. I want to go fish a redfish derby so bad. But he said in Louisiana, he'll go and like one side of the boat you're catching redfish, and the other side of the boat you're catching bass all at the same time. And I think that sounds like a good time to me.
I've experienced that. On three separate casts, I caught a flounder, a bass, and a redfish on three back-to-back casts.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
Agent Slam.
But now we bring that up. No, they were not that significant of size.
Jig, crankbait,
tube, flipping a tube.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, this was back when I was preparing for the '99 Classic that KVD won. Just down there fishing the Delta. And I want to just send out our thoughts and prayers to the folks down there in the Delta and all of southern Louisiana that are dealing with, one of the biggest monster hurricanes that have hit the shores of the states. And I know a lot of our friends down there, Bash U subscribers, Bash U instructors, Cajun Baby, and, all the guys down there, thoughts and prayers with you. I know how the people are down there. They're some of the best people in the world. They're so willing to help, and everybody from the whole country is just swarming on the area. And we look forward to getting you guys up and running real soon. And it's amazing, the durability of the marshes down there because the hurricanes blast that stuff. I guess they've been coming up there for a million years. Yeah. And they blast those marshes, and then the marshes just come right back. The bass come right back. The reds come right back. Mm-hmm. It's amazing how durable the wildlife is as well as the folks down there. So wishing you guys in Louisiana and Alabama and all the areas impacted by the hurricane. I think we're going to get some remnants of it here tomorrow, but it's going to be nothing here. So our thoughts are with you guys. And wishing you all the best. And we're going to take a quick break. Is there anything that that I missed, guys? Think we're good?
I think we're good, bro.
I think we're good. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back. We're going to be talking with Tiger Huffman. We're going to be talking about fishing for reds, and tuna and sailfish and all this crazy stuff that he fishes for out on the Pro Tour, and the amazing Gillz gear that we use in the bass fishing world. That's coming up right after this.
AquaView, the leader in underwater viewing technology. Find what you are looking for. Catch more fish. Have more fun. AquaView. Seeing is believing.
Why do you love casting fishing rods?
I'm truly losing less fish.
Is the sensitivity of the rod.
That they're made right here in North Carolina in the USA.
Strongest, lightest rod, 100% made here in Sanford, North Carolina.
From the drop shot rod to the flipping stick. Every rod has a purpose to it, and I rely on them all the time when I'm out there in a tournament.
Durability in the John Cruz Worming series, the counterbalancing in the handle.
It's the only rod I found that can withstand my hook set. Boom goes the dynamite.
Hey guys, 2021 Red Crest champion Dustin Connell here. And if you watch live coverage, we just got done at Lake Eufaula. I caught my fish using the active target with Lowrance. What you didn't see is I run a Sea Clear power harness in my boat. One of the main advantages to running this harness is it does not drain my batteries down at all running my 4 units. And what that's going to allow me to do is I'm able to see my bait at 8 a.m. just as good late in the day. Y'all check them out at seaclearpower.com.
Pride in your boat, so it deserves the best protection possible. Our durable woven fabric prevents ripping and provides UV protection, and our tape seams provide protection against the elements. The heavy-duty shock cord hem and strap and buckle system provide a tight and secure fit. Our top-of-the-line boat covers come with a ventilation system to keep your boat free from mold buildup. Empire Covers, protecting what you love.
Everybody, welcome back to Bass University Live. Tonight is all about current. We're going to be talking about how fish respond to the current, how to trigger the bites. We've got Zack Birge coming on in just a little bit, and we're going to be bringing on Tiger Hoffman, who is with Gillz Gear, is the official gear of the Bass University.
Yes.
And we love their stuff, and they've got a great new fall lineup coming up. Rich, I sent you a picture of Jake in his Gillz Gear fishing gloves. I don't know if we can show that, but
we can get it queued up if
he loves.
Brian will relinquish the computer to me for 30 seconds.
He loves those bass gloves.
Does he?
He loves them. He's like, every time we go fishing, he's got to be wearing them. That's how he picks the fish up. He loves those gloves.
Dude, he's onto something with that. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not lying. And when you say pick the fish up,
yeah,
he's dead on with that. Being able to grab the fish fearlessly.
Mm-hmm.
You're not worrying about getting spines in your hand.
No more better time than a smallmouth tournament.
When you're culling, when you're culling and you're grabbing them from the back, and
Yep.
there's 10 fish on the deck of the boat. You know, get some Gillz Gear gloves, man.
Yeah.
It'll help you with your culling.
Yep.
And you know what's the worst is like the 12 to 14-inch smallmouth.
They're the
They
absolute
are the
worst.
Yes.
I got buried by about a 10-inch smallmouth. He spined me.
Yes.
And it broke off in my hand after one of the MLF championship tournaments. It was a month, 2 months. I dug it out. It just got infected.
Oh, yeah.
And they will not stop moving.
It's awesome when you catch them on treble hooks too.
Yeah.
You go ahead and just bury one in your hand, like you know it's going to happen already. So let me just go ahead and do it myself. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way.
That's
here,
what my dad used to do. Beat me in the morning just for what I was gonna do. You know. Let's get this out of the way now, son.
Right. Just jam those trebles in my face now because I know I'm going to eat them. You get so excited, and the open that I'm going to be fishing next week is no nets allowed.
Yes.
So it's jerk baits, treble hooks, crank baits, whatever they might be biting. You got to go in after them.
Yep.
And it's a great proposition.
Can't worry about it.
Yeah.
No, what'd you say? You got something, JK?
Oh, I was just telling you to boat flip everything.
Yeah.
Get in here with it.
Yeah, 6-pound test and a drop shot.
I love it. But I see our guest is sitting next to you is Tiger Hoffman of Gillz Gear. Tiger, it's so great to have you with us again, and I heard you were boat flipping them today on JK.
Well, thank you guys so much, and it is always a great pleasure to sit there and come on with you guys. But, yeah, JK sit there and took me out today, and, I hook a really nice one, and I'm bringing it in, and I'm like, well, let me rephrase. He said it was a nice one. I'm sitting there thinking, like, what is this? And I pull it on board, and he's like, dude, that's like a tournament. Like, that's the one that you want. And I'm like, seriously? That? Like, for real? No, we had a great time. I mean, it was awesome to sit there and go out fishing because it was literally just building more camaraderie. We talked a whole lot about all different types of fishing. It was just a really, really a great time because at the end of the day, a bad day of fishing is better than any time at work. Anytime at work.
I feel like we both worked a lot.
We did work a lot.
I feel like we were. I think we had a session where we were both on our phones for easily 30 minutes.
Oh, well, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
you can't escape it, Pete. You can't escape.
I know exactly how it is. You got to get a good headset, and that's probably why you guys didn't catch very much. You weren't focused.
Well, use that as the excuse, sure.
Absolutely, it's his fault.
Go ahead and tell him what you caught him on that.
So I was throwing the Z-Man chatterbait with a 4-inch. It's called the Gold Rush. It's black with a little gold flake in it. Diesel minnow. Just sitting there doing a regular old, just like you're throwing a regular diesel, except I wasn't cranking my hard. I was sitting there throwing a little jerk onto it. And literally it was drilling them right there, probably within 6 feet of the boat. So it was really good though. I had a lot of fun though.
No skirt though.
No skirt.
No skirt. Zip with the no skirt.
Pretty.
No skirt. We don't throw skirts in salt water.
Show them something different, huh?
Yeah, well, I try to teach him one other thing.
Our boy B-Lat has been known to mess around with ghost drop the skirt on a chatterbait.
Right.
Yeah.
B-Lat and I have had several conversations about going skirtless. So, yeah.
It's a deal. I know at times I've done the toad, the horny toad, skirtless on the back of a chatterbait. That bait, obviously you don't need the skirt, but I'm interested in the saltwater approach. Like you guys have figured out, you get more bites in the saltwater, like with redfish or trout, or what does it work so well without the skirt?
So literally we don't throw any skirt at all. We're always skirtless, but it's always redfish because like if the water's really, really dark, like if it's rained a lot, storms come through and it's end up being muddy water, we'll put like a pearl white soft plastic on. We'll have some of that, maybe that chartreuse dye that we'll dip the tail in the dye a couple of times, get it stuck on there, but throw it on that chatterbait, give it a good sling, and it's literally pop, little bit of reel, pop, and you just get that little bit of vibration, not a consistent one, but a little bit at a time. And every time that you put it in front or close to a redfish, they're going to come at it because it's strictly because of the vibration in it.
Now, what chatterbait are you throwing at redfish? Are you throwing like the original, or are you using jackhammers, or what are you going with?
It's the jacks.
The jack.
They make one
The micro.
Yeah, they make a specific one that's more. They sell it for saltwater rich.
No
so
kidding.
it's more of a streamlined jig head. It's not like the Arky style head or anything like that. It's more vertical.
Jig head.
Like a darter head almost. You know.
Okay, I'm looking for this right now.
Got a big eye on it. I guess
You're still on the clock, Rich.
Yeah.
It's a
It'll probably be the redfish eye or the trout eye.
Red trout eye. Yeah, that might be it.
Do you pull?
But it's got a
bird?
big eye on it. I have to say something though. He was talking about that little zip, but the fish absolutely inhaled it. Like that's what caught my eye. It wasn't like he just caught it like any other. Like he caught a really good quality 3 to 4 pound tournament fish, and it was, I mean, back in the gullet. You know what I'm saying? Like just completely chewed. He said it absolutely smoked him. So that's kind of what perked my ears up because, I mean, we caught a few more, but they were all.
What's intriguing to me too, and this the Tigers, the guys like Buddy Gross making famous that style of bait on the back of what's that? Finesse Scrounger head.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about a bait that could be effective in for reds in that clear water and trying to make that bite happen. But that, have you ever? Are you aware of that Scrounger head? Do you guys use that out there in the salt?
If they do, I don't. So I'm fortunate enough to be sponsored by Z-Man, and the things that I found is the more vibration is when it's really dark, cloudy water. If it's really dark, muddy water, that's when you want more of the vibration because they're going to be more vibration reactive to it. When it's the clear water, it's literally like a weedless jig head, or maybe we'll sit there and throw the spinner bait on there just to give it a little bit of shine, a little bit more reaction that way. But it's no skirt, dark water, vibration, dark colors, clearer water, still a little bit of vibration, but add like the little spinner, the micro spinner bait on there because it give it a little bit more flash with a lighter color, like either like a pearl white, or you can sit there and throw, like, believe it or not, the pinfish really good. So that's the things that I usually stick to, and this year has worked really well for me.
Well, you guys, Tigers fishes the Pro Redfish Tour. You fish other major tournaments in the saltwater. Big time angler. What's been going on? How's the fishing for you? Where have you been? Is your best spots in Louisiana now belong to the sea? Yeah. What's going on in Tigers world?
On the redfish, I do a lot of the power pole. So power pole has the power pole opens where you have to bring the 2 redfish to the table for the weigh-in. But my favorite is actually the go lives where, we do on Facebook. We go live as soon as you set the hook. You have to go live on their Facebook page, record the fight, the land, the weigh, the whole 9 yards. And it's up until this storm, Louisiana has been my absolute hot spot. So I got a 3rd place finish in the go live. I got a 4th place finish in the open. Then I placed 5th in the Pro Redfish League in Stanahatchee. We did a 5th over in Jacksonville. So it's been a really good year for me. I mean, I've done extremely well, better than I thought. I haven't won anything, like as in a championship wise or won 1st place, but still, you're in the top 5, especially in the redfish game, where the anglers are phenomenal. Like, there's some of the best anglers, in my opinion, in the world. And finishing the top 5 with those guys, especially in Louisiana, where it's the redfish capital of the world, it's been an absolute blessing. So redfish bite's been on fire. Tampa Bay got hit pretty hard by the red tide, where I live in Tampa Bay.
I saw that.
And in the past about 5 weeks, so much rain has really flushed all that red tide out, and the redfish bite is coming back on like fire. But the whole thing with that redfish, especially when it comes to Tampa Bay, if that red tide comes to the mouth of it, those redfish will go up to like the Stanahatchee Crystal River immediately. The best part is most of our tournaments are right there in Stanahatchee. So the Stanahatchee redfish bite has been phenomenal. And I have a tournament there the 10th and 11th coming up. So
What's up? What now? The red tide it moves. It depletes oxygen just like a lot of the stuff does around here. Where do the fish go to escape it? Do they go up the rivers, or what do they do to get out of the way?
So most of the time, like if red tide, I can only give the example of Tampa Bay because that's truly all I really know about it. So the red tide basically sucks all the oxygen out of the water. So it pretty much kills any fish that it comes in contact with. So a lot of times, yes, if the fish are already up in the bay, they'll go up into the rivers and sit there to get away from it. Or there's certain parts of the bay they'll be able to go to because it doesn't consume the whole bay. It's just certain different spots because it's almost patchy. But if you have the red tide in the mouth of the bay, the redfish will literally divert from it and they'll keep heading north, like up to Crystal River, up to Stanahatchee, all the way up to the panhandle to go relax. And we just don't get that whole big migration that comes in because they usually come into Tampa Bay to breed or have babies.
Right.
One of the two. So it stinks, but at the same time, we know that the redfish population in general is still going to thrive because they'll just divert away from it. It's just the top population that's in Tampa that has the biggest effect against it.
Well, you've spent all this time in Louisiana. Do you have friends or fishermen down there? What have you heard about the people down there in South Louisiana?
So my Louisiana partner, it lives right there in Houma, and he's had a lot of fish. Yeah, they got hit bad, and he got notified they will not have electricity between 4 to 6 weeks. They won't have fresh water for about 4 to 6 weeks because all the water main lines got busted. All the electricity from the transformers to everything were completely down. So he was saying that, dude, if you could help anyway, it is gas, propane, and water are the three biggest things that they need. The gas and the propane are for the generators, and the water is because they can't get fresh water at all.
Wow.
So, and then another one of our pro staff, because I checked on them all, one of my pro staff lives there in Delacroix, and he said it's pretty much completely decimated right down to the ground. Between Grand Isle, Delacroix, along that whole eastern side of Louisiana, on the outskirts, it got hit bad because those guys were getting like between 14 and 18 foot surges coming in, where typically a house that's sitting on stilts is sitting underwater, or they were completely gone because they were getting wind gusts up to 200 miles an hour. It was bad. The good thing is, I checked on all my pro staff in Louisiana. They're all safe. Their families are all safe. They're able to start moving back in, but they need some help. I mean, they need some massive help.
Man, well, I see, the emergency response crews all over the country poised and ready to come in now that the storm has passed. And, boy, I hope they can get all of those supplies that you're talking about to the folks down there as quickly as possible. And, I know fishing is, fishing like we do, it's probably the last thing on their mind. But I'm always so amazed at how that habitat down there is so responsive. Like it seems like a blink of an eye, and the redfish will be right back up on the flats doing their thing.
Yeah, the only thing that's crazy about these hurricanes is they'll create more marshland or more waterways because those little islands are so flexible where all of a sudden you look on your GPS, it says, oh, here's a waterway, we can go right through here, but it could have been updated 2 weeks ago, but that thing's already moved. It's so versatile that yes, it can handle those storms. It sits there and allows it to almost recreate completely different fishing structures, different fishing habitat, but at the same time, it really affects the shrimpers, the crabbers, all those guys that depend on that type of waterway for a living. That's the biggest impact for it.
Wow. Well, I didn't think about that. Well, there's so much, and it's just devastating to see, and wish everybody all the best down there, and hopefully you guys will be back fishing down there before too long. But what are your other tournaments? Are you doing any fishing around Florida? You going tuna fishing? You going sail fishing? I saw you caught some bait today, but you know,
That's a good fish.
Yeah. So, like, I know about closer to the beginning of October, we got a tuna tournament down in Marathon. We have a mahi tournament closer to the end of October down in Marathon. The guys with 2 conchs down there in Marathon out of Alabella, they've been absolutely beating up the Dorado, the tuna, the sailfish, the snapper, the grouper. It has been an unbelievable. It's like one of those out of the blue best years of fishing type that's going on. And then you add on the lobster. We went down there for a long weekend of lobster. Dude, we were limited out in less than 3 hours. And that's 6 people. Less than 3 hours limited out.
Do you
it's
think
been that crazy good.
Did the hurricane push the fish around your way, do you think?
I don't know if it's necessarily the hurricane, but it's, because the way the Gulf Stream flows, it got a little closer this year. So we weren't having to run it out so far in that perfect, pelagic temperature. But for some reason, the tuna came in strong. The Dorados came in like ridiculous strong. I remember I was there one weekend, we fished a tournament. We were catching like an average between probably 10 and 15 pounds. Go back 2 weeks later, around the same school of fish that were there before. And now there's, 12 to 15 pounders are like 20 to 25 pounds. They're growing that fast and it's insane, but they're everywhere. Like we limited out in less than 4 hours with 8 people on the boat.
Wow, man, that's amazing. We have to make our way down there, JK. We got to take a little break. I know you saw Ken Duke. Shout out to Ken Duke recently down in Florida, and we need to get down there and do some of that fishing with you, Tiger. I know one of the things that when you were on our show last, and it doesn't matter who you are, or, it's such a powerful statement that you brought with you last time, and live with no regrets. You've been through some pretty harsh medical situations from when you were an infant and on, and I can hear it in you. You're fishing all over the place, and you are living with no regrets. It's great to see.
Thank you so much. That's the biggest thing that my parents instilled in me growing up is don't use any of my disabilities as a crutch. You go hard every day. Don't live a day with a regret, and make sure you take care of the people that you love, and then take care of yourself and make sure you love yourself at the end of the day. You have 0 regrets to it.
Well, you're an influence and inspiration to all of us for that. And we love being associated with you and Gillz Gear. One of my favorite articles, I didn't get a chance to send you this picture, Tiger. I want to show it to you now if you guys can pull up that image, because we were fishing on up at Thousand Islands. We took a little family vacation, and my son's favorite article of Gillz Gear clothing, we're about to pull it up on the screen here in just a minute, is really cool because it's one of my favorites. We had a blast. We got to go up there and fish for some largemouth and some smallmouth. My family really enjoyed going up there, which was tremendous. We were at the I'm going to say it here by the end of the show. It's the North something retreat, but it's an amazing place. And I see him pulled up there right now. Here is Jake Gluszek's favorite article of Gillz Gear clothing. Are you ready?
We'll see it in just a second,
okay.
Sure.
That's right. You guys we're under a slight delay, but
yeah,
This is what happens when you're in Georgia.
There he is, Pete.
They're busting my chops.
Oh my gosh, I love that picture.
This is my boy celebrating his 12th birthday. Shout out to Jake. Happy birthday, Jake. Happy 12th.
Happy birthday.
That kid.
I know, right? That's awesome. Hey, you know what's awesome about those gloves though, Pete? Because of the type of the material they're made of, and you know how you feel they have that little bit of extra padding there in the fingers. Mm-hmm. You can actually cut those gloves to size, and that material will not fray, will not sit there and come apart at all. So literally you can So let's say if the index finger was way above or you wanted it just a little bit lower, you can take a pair of scissors and clip them, and you don't have to worry about that material coming apart at all.
Jake,
you can literally customize them to your finger.
Jake, do not cut my gloves. They're daddy's gloves.
That's awesome.
Cut them. I dare you to cut them. I'll just send them a new pair.
Oh, we love the Gillz gear, and I know you've got some stuff down there. Do you want to do the unboxing right now? Are you ready to talk about the fall lineup? Let's talk about this gear we all love.
Absolutely, and I apologize, guys. Our shipping company, they went to deliver your product, but they marked it as signature. And so I apologize. Tomorrow you guys will be getting your stuff because I had it all packed up. But we'll go ahead, Justin, if you want to go ahead and do your unboxing.
We'll get a sneak peek.
Zach's got one for later as well.
We'll get some video content of us breaking into that package, man. I'll
yeah, Tiger. In the meantime, we're just gonna sit here looking all sad, like we got left out of the party.
I'm jealous already, just because the bag looks bad to the bone, dude. Like,
it is. He hooked us up with a sweet bag. I'm gonna take this.
Is that a dry bag?
It is a dry bag.
It's
a dry bag with Eco Outfitters. It's a company that we're teaming up with to do some co-branding on a couple of our other different apparel brands. A phenomenal company out of Ocala, Florida.
Okay, no kidding.
But yeah, here's
Tiger. We got a lot in common, by the way, man. A lot more.
Turn it.
Whoa!
Yo.
Yes. This is awesome.
Absolutely. I made sure it was you guys' colors. We had both logos on there because, I know these cups are used all the time, but I want to make sure both brands were represented extremely well. So I know you guys are using it. So I apologize again for not being there, but look what you got coming.
Man, I can't wait. It's going to be here on the show every night.
There you go.
Here we go. We got the tournament. What are these pants?
No, these are this is the new
this is a jacket.
Our lightweight rain jacket that's coming out for this fall.
I've been asking for.
Set up. The good part about it is, again, it's a packable jacket that literally you can pack it up into the pocket right here. So literally you can unzip it and fold the entire jacket up into the pocket.
And we should time this. He's going to get this in under 15 seconds.
Dude, this could be a TikTok right now.
But this is the best part, though. Literally, this will fit into any compartment that you have in your boat, in your tackle bag or anything.
Dude.
Done, sealed, and delivered.
Yo-Co Anglers.
Right?
Yes.
All done.
Yo-Co
It turns
Anglers.
into that.
Wow.
You
That
can
is
put it in
legit.
your bag anywhere. And it's 100% waterproof. You will not get wet. I mean, if you guys check out, you saw the picture that Hunter posted that now on the bass.com where he's holding that monster largemouth.
Mm-hmm.
He was wearing this. So, dude, it's a phenomenal raincoat. It's not heavy, so that way you can wear it into not the heavy weather, but still you don't have to worry about any of the rain and not be sweating your daggone backside off.
Daggone backside.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to PC.
There's some pants.
These are our new tournament pants.
Dude.
Justin, try them on.
Okay. Size XL. Let's see if they work.
I promise they will. So these, the tournament pants are actually.
Are we going on top? Yeah,
You
let's
might wanna
go.
unbutton-
Oh my God.
He's gonna.
This is why we don't have nice things.
We're about to get better ratings right now.
If you fall, it'll be the best show we've ever done.
I'm not gonna be able to successfully do this over my shorts, but they're gonna fit, thankfully.
But no, the tournament pants are phenomenal. They're extremely comfortable. Again, when water hits them, the water beads right off them. They have great cargo pockets. The zippers are actually reinforced, and they're not metal zippers. They're actually plastic zippers, so you don't have to worry about your zippers rusting out and everything. So great tabs where the tab's not going to come undone. Nice large pockets on there, so that way they're extremely comfortable. You don't have to worry about like, oh, they got to be washed a certain way or anything.
Guys, super lightweight.
Lightweight, but at the same time, the material is so good, it's windproof, so you don't have to worry about the wind blowing in there. If it's one of those, you're getting into those faller months where it's getting a little bit chillier and the wind starts picking up a little bit more. They're extremely comfortable and they are true size.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
But they come in 3 different colors. You have these in the khaki, black, and then we call it it's like a high-rise blue, but it's like a grayish blue, but it's a phenomenal color. That's awesome. You guys will have them in your bag.
I can't wait. Can't wait. What else we got hiding in there, JK?
So this is our new Storm Fleece. The new Storm Fleece, again.
There's some improvements made here from the last one.
We made it a little bit lighter weight, but still it's very, very windproof. Has a little bit more of the neoprene in there, and it makes it extremely comfortable, extremely wind resistant.
It already feels more flexible than the last one,
extremely
which
more
is crazy.
It helps you, gives you more of that flexibility in your shoulders and across your shoulder blades when you're doing the casting. We reinforce where last year, we're not gonna lie, the tabs kept on pulling off of your hood strings. So we reinforced those and completely changed them so it's not gonna happen anymore. We changed the hood up a little bit so it's more hatch structured. So when literally you put it on, you don't have to worry about having that hole looking like you're looking through a tunnel. It's going to fit over your hat extremely well. And we size it so if you're an extra large, we sized it a little bit bigger so that way if you have to wear it over a shirt, you can. But you see how it fits around your hat perfect?
It does.
You don't have to worry about it doing this or anything. It fits around your hat perfect. And that way you guys don't have to worry about, oh, if I got to loosen it up, I got to zip it all the way up. You're good to go on it.
That's awesome. Guys, I don't know exactly what this is, but what was everybody's favorite Ike tournament jersey of all time?
The Flames.
The Flames.
Oh, no, that's not Flames.
I know, but doesn't it look like Flames when you first see it?
That's Brian's favorite one.
Yeah, that's Coke Float.
Nope, but it is.
Oh, is it hooded?
Nope, it is a redfish hoodie.
Oh.
Oh, no kidding.
See?
You got the
black dot, scales, white belly.
It's the redfish hoodie.
I got to give him a little saltwater in that freshwater game.
The hoodie has that breathability all in the back too.
Yep, and it has the structure and the ability to fit over your hat brim, so that way it's not sagging. And the good thing about it would be in line is that you don't have to worry about it, like sticking to your back of your neck or sticking to your face, and it sit there just. When you put it on, you feel like you're Darth Maul from damn Star Wars. It literally structures to your head, and that way you don't have to worry about everything sagging in your eyes. So.
All right, guys, I think this is the last item that I got in my gift pack, but nice and simple.
Nice.
Yep. So this is the new UV tournament one for fall. A little bit better weight on the material, still gives you a little bit of that breathability. That way, if you have your fleece on, you're not going to sit there and sweat yourself to death because it still gives you that comfort with a little bit of extra because it's part of our fall line.
That's awesome, man. So I think right now we wanted to show y'all some more stuff that's not in my bag. I don't know if it would have been in theirs or not.
No, some of it would have been in theirs.
Let's see if this screen share works, BTC.
Let's hope.
Yep.
Okay.
Love that stuff, by the way, Tiger. That was so awesome. I cannot wait to get my hands on some of that gear, especially the hoodie. I mean, I live in a hoodie starting this time of year, and I cannot wait.
It's still August.
So we did bring out a couple extra patterns this year, especially for the Northeast, especially around fall line. Yes, that's my armpit.
Yeah,
but here's an explanation of our Gillz Tech fabric. It's our own fabric, where it actually pulls the moisture off of your skin and spreads it out through your entire body, which allows it to actually cool off 30% faster than anyone else's. But here is our new anorak rain jacket, where is not just your quarter zip down the middle, where it actually zip down the side for a full zip, and then it'll zip down your right hand side for a quarter zip. So it's actually both with a little bit of pouch right there on it. The next one, this is our Storm Fleece, the one that we just showed you. It comes in the gray, dark gray, the teal blue, and the black colors. Extremely comfortable, very lightweight. It's got a little bit of that neoprene feel, but again, it gives you that extra comfort when the wind's blowing and the rain's coming down.
Tiger, is this entire fall line going to be available the same day?
Yes. So we're going to be launching it. It will be all on the website on September 15th, by September 15th.
Okay, awesome.
Here's the 3 different new patterns for our packable rain jacket. This is the black one. We have this one down here, which is actually called the Scarred Tuna. So if you were to zoom in on that picture, actually, like I'm doing now, oh, that didn't work. It actually, if you just sit there and zoom in, it actually looks like a scarred tuna on it. And then here is our gray with a little bit of teal lettering. Here's our new packable rain pants that go along with the packable rain jacket. Extremely lightweight, but at the same time, very, very durable. They are windproof and 100% waterproof. And again, we size them. So if you're an extra large and you have an extra large pant on, it'll be able to fit over those pants.
Nice.
So it's sized up a little bit, but to measurement. Here's the tournament pant again, the gray, high-rise blue, and then black. Then, Pete, this is for you, buddy. We didn't have these in, but here's our new woven long sleeve shirts, woven shirts. And a new blue, a new gray, and black that are actually
Nice.
long sleeve.
The Dean Signature Series.
I'm telling you, I need to have it. I'm telling you. I love seeing all those pictures of you with your woven on, but they are extremely comfortable. And the best part about these is, yes, I can go out all day and fish in it, but at the same time, as soon as I come off the boat, I got the wife saying, "Hey, let's go get dinner." I can roll right to any restaurant with that shirt on and be like, "Hey, I may stink, but I look good."
I love fishing in mine. I mean, they're so comfortable. I mean, that's what I'm fishing in for the last 2 months. You know, I love that gear. Love those shirts.
I'm telling you, Pete, the new Spring 22 line of our woven shirt is going to blow last year's out of the water. You're going to absolutely fall in love with it, with the flexibility that you're going to have. The actual fabric, it's not even going to feel like you have a button-down woven shirt on. I promise. It is unbelievable. Our new product designer, Julian, has gone above and beyond with the new products that he's got coming out for the Spring 22 line.
Shout out to Julian. That guy's got more energy.
Oh, he's shot out of a cannon.
Than Tiger. Yeah. He's positive energy, but he's the man. Really talented guy.
Absolutely phenomenal. Here's our new tournament hoodies where you saw the redfish, standard black. But the one thing that we did bring in, especially for you boys, we brought in a striper pattern.
Yeah.
For you bunch of striper rock fishermen.
That's lately 40 a day.
Well, you know, I know them from when I have to go up and go fish with my brother. But, yep. Then a regular UV shirts, and that's pretty much the line.
That's exciting.
It's an amazing line. It's a great product, guys. Go check it out. Use your discount. Go to your pro member benefits and get yourself hooked up with some Gillz gear. And we really appreciate it, Tiger. It's so awesome that you hook us all up with it. We look great. We fish better, and can't wait to get some of the new gear that we just watched tonight. I love that BU coffee mug, man. That's going to be a staple here on my boat and here on the show as well. So,
awesome.
Man, thanks again. Thanks so much. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. Guys, we are going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to be talking with Zack Birge, who is fresh on the Gillz Gear Pro staff.
What?
Along with us. And we are going to we're going to be talking about current, how to catch fish in different current-based situations with Zack Birge. We're going to be right back doing that right after this.
Moment on the water not spent fishing is a moment wasted. That's why Minn Kota and Humminbird have joined forces to bring you the One Boat Network. Products that communicate and integrate to help you take full command of your boat. Born from our commitment to making the most advanced fishing gear even better by making it work together, the One Boat Network will help you find, get to, stay on, and catch more fish. When One Boat Network products talk to each other, they can navigate your boat automatically. They can give you a crystal clear view of what's below with no messy wires. And they can let you lower, raise, and change shallow water anchor modes from anywhere on the boat. But that's just the beginning. We're never done innovating, integrating, and making your boat simpler and easier to control. All so you can make every second on the water count.
Tackle Warehouse is proud to sponsor the FLW Pro Circuit and is the official tackle retailer of FLW, providing proven bass fishing gear as well as the newest and hottest tackle. Our friendly and knowledgeable customer service staff can help you every step of the way. And we offer free ground shipping on orders over $50. Tackle Warehouse, everything for the bass angler at the lowest prices. Guaranteed.
I have to be constantly on the lookout for new techniques to stay on the top of my game.
Giant.
Some have been more successful than others.
Giant.
The finesse fingernail happens every time. The chain gang.
Broke it off.
The crow's nest.
Never let go.
And don't even get me started on tackle management, especially trying to stop rust and corrosion. Peanut butter. Not good. Motor oil. Gotta keep the rust off all these baits. WD-40. Gotta keep the rust off. Silica, toothpicks, Q-tips, the list goes on and on. I'm hard on tackle, I fish fast, I need my tackle organized and protected. I can't be worrying about losing baits to rust. And when it comes to tackle management, there's only one solution. Flambeau tackle storage systems with Z-Rust technology. The original anti-rust tackle box. Uncompromised clarity. Renowned durability. The infused anti-rust option that is FDA safe and free of harmful chemicals. The organization options are endless, but there's only one. One box, one anti-corrosion technology, one family-owned American-made brand, Flambeau Z-Rust Tackle Solutions. Preserve, perform, repeat.
Welcome back to Bass University Live, everybody. I want to give another big thank you for Tiger Hoffman with Gillz Gear and all the amazing stuff. Want you guys to go check that out. Get your discount for being a Bass U subscriber. And, man, what a great conversation. What a great guidance. He's an inspiration. And we've got another really super talented angler that's joining us. I see him on the queue up there. He's fresh off tour on the MLF, and we're super excited to have him with us. We're going to be talking about current, but we've got Zack Birge with us tonight. Welcome, Zack.
I appreciate it.
Man, it's good to have you. Where are you? Are you home? Are you out on tour? Where are you right now?
Yeah, I'm actually home. This is the first time I've been home, and since like the end of May. So it's nice to be here. It was an unexpected visit home, but I had to get a lot of stuff done, so I just drove home and took care of it, and fixing to leave to head back to Detroit.
What Detroit is? Oh, that's going to be the Lake St. Clair shootout, man. That's going to be an amazing tournament. Man, that's going to be on fire. I mean, as much as the Thousand Islands has been in the news lately, St. Clair is going to just crush it. I can't wait to see.
They're bigger on St. Clair.
I hope it's good. I haven't been there in a little while, but I'm excited to get back. Every time we've been, it's been a been a blast.
I know. I've never seen, has MLF with the Every Fish Counts tournament style, has it ever been on St. Clair?
Not that I'm aware of.
Me either. It's always been like a top 5 shootout, biggest 5. I can't imagine. There's a bazillion fish in that lake. I can't imagine how big the final weights are going to be.
Yeah, it ought to be good. I've always I've had a couple really good days there with big fish, but I've kind of struggled to stay on the better quality to win one of those 5 fish deals. I've had a good day, then a mediocre day. But usually I catch a ton of fish, so I'm excited to go for this format and, see how many we can catch in a day.
I can't wait. I know I fished a couple derbies there, and you get around them, and they're everywhere. Like, they're just everywhere. It's like the bottom comes alive, but they're like, 2-pounders. And you leave, you're like, wow, these aren't going to win the tournament. But for your tournament, man, you just stay and catch them for hours. I can't imagine. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
It should be.
Yep. Well, speaking of having a good tournament, you just came off a great tournament up at the Mississippi River. And I imagine you were fishing in some current in that situation.
Yeah, we fished in some current. It was actually the least amount of current I've ever seen there during a tournament that I've been there for. The water was really low. The water was barely moving, which is kind of out of the ordinary, but it's a river. Everything's current related, and we made the best of it. I really thought we had that one at the end of the last day, and a couple of guys caught really good bags and pulled it out.
Well, you did really well on one of BTC's favorite baits, one of the Guggen fluke style baits. Is that the bait you were using?
Yeah, the dart. I was mixing it in with a couple other baits. The starting place I had, it's it's an area I've caught a bunch of fish before. It's a place that's just outside of the current. It's almost like the tailing edge of an island. So fish are really close to current. They're really close to the main river, but they can tuck in a pocket. They've got grass mats. There's a little wing dam that runs through there. So they've really got everything they need. And there's a big population of fish that lives around there. But I went through it in practice, didn't really get many bites. I kind of got bummed out. And the last day of practice, I went through it one more time, and I found them way out in a whole different area, kind of towards the very end of the island that I was fishing in, one little spot, and I caught them like every cast. And I just kind of learned how to catch them throughout the tournament better and better. And I rotated through a bunch of baits, some topwater baits, the dart, and it was at times it was every cast.
Wow.
Problem was catching better quality, so I would come and go, and every now and then I would catch a better one.
Well, I think it's pretty cool, that style of bait. It's so popular, right? It's one of the classic minnow style baits, and you just don't see it play at top level tournaments that often. So it was kind of cool to see you make good use of it.
Yeah, it was odd. It wasn't what I would initially have thought I'd be doing when I went there. And like I said, I went through it first day of practice and never got a bite. And I got a little bummed. And, of course I went through it frogging and pitching around at some stuff and got bummed out, came back through it. And, they were eating small bait in this particular area. So I threw a little small topwater bait and I caught a good one. And then it led me to throw, the dart style bait, and it was just every cast at times. It was so much fun. And like you just said, it's kind of something that people don't really necessarily think to throw right off the top of their head. And that's the reason, that's just another reason why I picked it up and throw it.
Yeah, right. What the other guys aren't using. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, and I think I saw it in the photograph, but what's your rigging for that? Because a lot of times it's hard to get 100% strike to catch because of the current, the wind, getting good hookups with the fish. How are you rigging it for that tournament?
My particular setup was my signature series favorite rod. It's a 7-1 rod, 15-pound braid straight, Yozeri braid. and then a 5/0 wide gap hook, and then the dart on top of it. It's usually how I always throw it, whether it's like a trick worm style bait or the dart or something like that. It's, in my opinion, I get a better hookup ratio. I can throw it a mile on a spinning rod, still get a good hook set, and get those fish in the boat. And I don't really have to worry about a leader popping or 8 or 10 pound test breaking. The water in the river wasn't super clean, so I wasn't worried about them shying off of it. Plus 15 pound braids, tiny.
Yeah. Can you dive into that, Zach? Like, go deep with our guys here, because you're talking about a soft plastic jerk bait, right?
Yep.
So for a lot of people, that is not a good hookup ratio. It's not a good efficient bait. Whether they're rigging it, I mean, there's tons of ways to rig it. Can you talk to us how you were rigging it, what your setup was like, and why it was so efficient for you?
So for me, I don't know, y'all probably know Kurt Mitchell. He's a good buddy of mine. Him and I were talking quite a bit about it throughout the tournament. He was catching smallmouth on a couple wing dams that were right down from me. I was catching pretty much all largemouth. He didn't throw the fluke or dart the first day, and I caught a bunch. So I told him, and I said, try it down there and see if you can get some bites. And he did, and he got a lot of bites, but he was rigging it with the rivet style treble hook, underneath, and he was losing some fish. I think he said he lost like 10 fish a day doing it, which I've never really heard it to be that bad. It's not something that I've done a whole lot to have a lot of confidence to rig it like that and use it that way. But I've always just used a 4 or 5/0 wide gap hook with that soft plastic style bait with straight braid. The reason is, and also use a heavier wire hook. So something like the Owner wide gap hook is pretty stout. The Gamakatsu Superline hook is pretty stout. Those are two that I use a lot. And even on a long cast with a spinning rod that's got a little bit of power, you can still drive a hook good on straight braid. So that's why I use it. Number one, it's because I can cast it so far to schooling fish or things like that. I may just, see one bust a way off and just pick up a rod and fire it over to them. And I have a better percentage of making an accurate cast with it, getting the casting distance, and getting a hookup on that fish. But this particular place where I was at, I knew pretty much where they set up every day. So I would pull up, pole down, and just fan cast around till I found them. And then I'd make the same cast over and over. And I was trying not to get too close to them because it was only 2 or 3 foot. Where they were sitting at was actually a small hole. It was kind of a trough that ran through there, and they were just loaded up in it. And, I was probably 35, 40 yards from it. I tried to not get too close to really push them out of there or mess with them.
So Zach, once you figured out where they were at, you said you were power pulled down and you started to make that repetitive cast. Are you literally just casting at the same spot over and over and over and over? And why? Is that a current seam? Is it an eddy? Is it a block? Like what sets those fish up in that place once you found them?
I wish I could draw a picture. So if you could imagine there being a small shallow bay just adjacent to the main river channel, that and the water level being normal, which I think is like 7 foot, 6 or 7 foot, there's usually a lot more fish in there. This particular time, the water was like 4 foot, 4.5 foot. So the water was down lower. There wasn't near as much water in there where they normally are. So they had pulled out to the outside edge of the grass, and they were down on the tail end of the island, which is where 2 current seams come together. But what was so perfect about it was the 2 current seams came together. There was also an underwater jetty, wing dam, whatever you want to call it, that came all the way across that area. Well, right where the tailing edge of the island came down and that underwater jetty met, there was basically like a foot trough in it, just a little like chute. Well, that let a little bit more water flow through it. it also gave bait fish a better place to travel through. And those fish there was a main grass line that came straight off the tail of the island, and then there was isolated patches of grass all around it. In that trough, just below it, there was 2 or 3 patches of grass. And I literally would throw on the upcurrent side of that trough 5 or 6 casts in a row, and I'd either catch some or I wouldn't, or I would hit the bottom side around those clumps. And they were either on the grass clumps or they were on the upstream side of it every time. And I just had to, rotate between the two to get them to bite. And every now and then I would fire out to the outside further across the shallower part of the rocks to get bit. But that's pretty much where they were every day.
Wow. And
So
do you feel like it
sorry.
replenished? Do you feel like that area just kept replenishing because of the moving water, bringing fish in, bringing bait in?
Yeah. And that particular area had a lot of bait fish. I saw that the first day of practice. So I knew there would be a good number of bait around every day. The good thing about rivers are most of the time they seem to replenish day to day. So once I figured out how to catch them, I knew that I could probably catch them for, a good bit of the day and come back to follow and still get bites. I didn't know, if there was anybody else running through them on the following day or the days I weren't fishing. But, the Mississippi River up there especially, it has just an absurd amount of fish in it. And it doesn't ever seem like you really run out of fish unless you find one small grass clump somewhere in a backwater that has, you get 3 or 4 bites in. That kind of place might run out, or a little stretch of cut bank that you might fish and get a few bites one day. You might come back the next day and not get bit. But this area it's always been somewhere I can come to day after day after day and get multiple bites.
Mm. Zach, I want to nitpick you really quick on back to the rigging thing. Wide gap hook, 4/0, 5/0. You're going super line style for the weight, which is a great tip. Are you tucking the hook point back into the plastic? Because I feel like that matters sometimes, and I don't know which way you go. I know some people are opinionated about that. Do you have a hard opinion on it?
I 90% of the time do not tuck it back in.
Mm.
The only time I will is if I'm throwing that style bait or finesse worm style bait, weightless around cover, to where when I twitch it, it may, go into a branch or something. That's the only time I will tuck it in. If it's around grass or something, I usually go ahead and leave it out and just take my chances on it catching a strand of grass or something. But 90% of the time I leave it out. And I've lost a few fish at times because my hook hasn't come out, or you try to tuck it in and for whatever reason it wads up, doesn't get the fish hooked up good. So I leave it out most of the time.
That's a great tip. And I want to, sorry guys, I'm going to take a moment to be analytical and learn my own lesson here.
Go.
I throw go. But Zach, you said Kurt was doing a pop rivet thing with the treble, which I do a lot. But was he fishing kind of similar depth range as you? You were talking 2 to 5 feet. Is that what he was doing too?
Yeah, real similar. So there was one that it'd be the next wing dam down from where I was, and he was catching all smallmouth, and I actually fished it the last day. He unfortunately he didn't make the final day, so when I knew he wouldn't be there, I went ahead and made a lap around, and I caught like a 2.5 pound smallmouth off of it. But I was using the rigging that I'm comfortable with, and I drove that hook right through his head like it was nothing.
Well,
he lost a few, but I don't know. I'm not sure why.
You were catching mainly largemouth. Did you lose any smallmouth? Was it a smallmouth thing where they were biting it funny? And the reason why I really like JK diving in here, because I'm diving in here because I love fishing a fluke for smallmouth, and I'm about to do it at the open. And the rigging is interesting to me because that pop rivet treble hook rigging is designed to land more fish.
Right.
Well, about that, Pete, I think my biggest lesson that I just put together is if you're in shallower water, I think Zach's might be the better deal. If you're in more, once it starts to get a little deeper, I've always found that schooling fish that are coming up, that are in cleaner water, and they're willing to travel 10 to 20 feet up at that. It seems like the pop rivet's 100%. But I have messed around with it in shallower water, and I've lost fish. And so now it's like I'm coming full circle that maybe I can't say for sure, but maybe that's the lesson there for which rigging is better when.
We're all confused now.
Okay.
No,
welcome to my world. Okay, fine. I learned something. If you guys didn't, whatever, but I did.
Zach, I got a question for you. So, what ounce are you usually throwing when you're sitting there? Because I fish a lot of tidal, and our thing is like if it's an outgoing tide, we're looking anywhere between a foot to 2 foot drop where those redfish or snook will be sitting there right at that drop. And as soon as that goes from like 3 feet, maybe down to 4 feet on the outgoing tide, they're going to be sitting right there waiting for all the bait. So I'll throw like a Z-Man Diesel on maybe a chatter or maybe on like a 1/4 ounce. What ounce do you usually throw? Does it depend on the water? Depends on the clarity?
So if we go back to the Mississippi River, that when I was throwing that dart style bait, it was weightless. But it was so shallow, those fish were mostly coming up to the top and busting on bait when I would see them. So I knew that they would come up and eat. Plus it was so shallow, I didn't really think it mattered. Now, when I would leave that and go down and go into some of the backwaters that had some current running through it, I was throwing a bladed jig most of the time. But it was also like, cut banks that I was looking for the deeper ones, and it would be anywhere from 3 to 8 foot right on the bank. But most of the fish that I caught were current related. So they would tuck in right behind a grass clump that was overhanging. And I was literally just going through there, making pitches 10 yards in front of the boat behind a grass clump or in front of a grass clump. And it was usually the second or third time I turned the handle, I'd get bit. So I don't necessarily think the weight made a difference then because it was so fast and they were eating it right up on the top. Like the biggest fish I caught in the tournament, I watched her. I pitched it right up to the cut bank. As soon as I moved it, she came up to the top and boiled on it, caught her, and then I proceeded to catch a bunch more that day on it. But going back last year when we were there, I was flipping the cut banks and they wanted a fast fall. They wouldn't touch it if you pitched a 1/4, 5/16 weight up to it. And that's what I normally throw. It had to be a 1/2 to 3/4. 3/4 was better. They wanted something that just blew right by them and they would react to it better. So it's not, for me, it's not necessarily what I would do most of the time, but you kind of got to keep them honest with opinions, with options during practice. Last year I found them to like the heavier weight better. This year they liked the lighter weight better, but they were also eating the bladed jig style bait on the surface pretty much.
That's why we pre-fish all the time.
Yep, That's right. You can't get enough information, and we're the current. It's funny you said rivers always seem to replenish. We happen to fish next to a river that never replenishes. The Delaware. It's like once every month a fish will replenish to the same spot. But it's amazing a place like the Mississippi that's so full of fish, and where you're going to St. Clair are so full of fish. But we're talking about current stuff, and Zach, where did you learn how to fish current? Where did is there bodies of water close to you that really dialed you in on how fish relate to current?
So I grew up in Arkansas, and we lived probably 10 minutes from the Arkansas River. So there was about 3 different boat ramps that we could be to within 10 or 15 minutes from the house. And we lived on the river. On the weekends after school, we were out there fishing, whether it's bass fishing, striper fishing, whatever. We were out there. So and we lived in Arkansas for about 13 years before I moved to Oklahoma. So I got a pretty good amount of knowledge from that. And then moving to Oklahoma, we also have Kerr and Three Forks, which is on the Arkansas River as well. So I learned, even more up here fishing that stuff. So when we go to places like the Mississippi River, or, even I can kind of relate it a little bit to Potomac and smallmouth places up here like Detroit, where we'll have some strong current in the rivers, St. Lawrence. There's things that you learn from fishing, even rivers down here, that you can relate to places like that, which I think helps give you a slight advantage over people that may have not have grown up on one or been able to spend that much time on a place like that.
Man, I agree. I grew up on rivers too. I love fishing around current. If you're talking to a guy that's just, doesn't know anything about, what do you think the most important thing that you would tell somebody that's trying to learn how to fish current?
Learn how to read water visually.
Visually. See the seams and the eddies.
Yep.
So
Watching current seams, eddies, underwater structures that, create a seam or boil or something like that, or underwater jetties, being able to see that and know what's there quickly versus, people that don't have experience. There was a few guys at Mississippi River last week that straight up lost lower units because they didn't know what to look for. They just blew right through it. And
it's not. We shouldn't be laughing at guys losing their lower units, guys.
Look, it's not. Trust me, I get it. You don't have to laugh at it, but at the same time, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. But my question for you is that, what are some of the specific things that you look on the water surface? So if it's like someone that's going to be fishing it like brand new, or they're getting into it, what is it that they're looking for on the water surface? Either it may be like a certain movement, a certain tidal flow, a certain little wake, a certain ripple. What is it that they should be looking for when you're doing that?
I mean, when you're on the water, say you're driving a boat, you're going upstream, downstream, you can see visually there's differences in the way the water ripples, the way the water flows. You'll get backflow, current seams that come around points and things like that. Anything that breaks a current will create a seam or an eddy. Underwater structures create what looks like bowls, basically what looks like the back of a dam. If you've ever seen the back of a dam, it's the same typical visual sight. And when I'm fishing it, fish aren't just going to sit out in the current and just swim nonstop. They're going to look for anything they can tuck in behind, whether it's a stump, a tree, one rock, a boulder. Smallmouth love boulders. Anything that creates a break, fish will typically use. And, when you have, it seems like the more current you have, the better that plays, from my experience. So that's what I normally look for. It's really not overcomplicated. I think a lot of people tend to overcomplicate it. But again, I grew up on a river, so things click a little bit quicker, I think.
Riz,
all right, so sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
I was gonna send it over to Riz because I know we've got some IMs that are starting to pile up.
Yeah, we do, Pete. There's a lot of great interaction from our subscribers. And Zach, right there at the end of what you were saying there, you kind of hit home on something, though, that current and fishing rivers, it seems like a lot of people can kind of overcomplicate it, especially when you put a tide into the situation. But generally, I feel like fishing current or a tide, if it looks like there should be a fish there, at some point there's probably going to be a fish there, because it's out of the current. It just sets up well. But so guys, as always, we're going to bring in some questions here from our Bass U TV subscribers. If you're not a member, now's a great time to get signed up. Just head over to www.bassu.tv.com. And the first question I'm going to go with is from Grattan Fishing, and Grattan Fishing wants to know, what direction do you position your boat when you're fishing current, especially around grass? And Grattan, for this question, you are going to get yourself a $50 gift certificate to Gillz Gear.
Whoa.
My man, hook it up. So he wants to know, how do you position your boat when you're fishing in that current?
Most of the time I'm fishing current, I like to fish into the current. The only time I don't really care is if there's like a grass mat or something and I'm frogging and I'm kind of just going with the current, throwing across it, or fishing right on the edge. But if I'm going up like a cut bank or something, I like to go up current. I like to kind of tuck in behind seams and go around a tree to the next one, or go around a little notch to the next seam and fish into it. That's just my personal preference. I don't necessarily think there's a right or wrong way, because I've done it both and I've caught them both ways. I just feel like going into the current, I've got a little more control of the boat. I can pick things apart a little quicker more thoroughly, I guess I should say, versus if I'm going with the current and say it's a strong current, I may go by somewhere that, you pitch into it, you're going with the current, you can't really stop the boat as quick, and you might miss a couple places. Whereas if you're going into the current, you can really pick something apart. Once you feel like you fished it thoroughly, dial the trolling motor up, go around, get right in the next little seam and pick it apart.
Awesome. Yeah, and next question I'm going to go with is from Dale Jr. Dale Jr. What up, Dale?
Hey, buddy.
We know you. Saw Dale last 2 weekends ago on the
TW
Delaware River.
Was he?
Yeah, he was for the Five Alive tournament. Yeah, he was out there as a co. He fished with our boy Craig Duran, who beat me by like 3 ounces in that tournament. So Craig, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, Craig, you got all Pete's spots. Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, but
Dale Jr. You guys both did well.
Yeah, Dale Jr. wants to know how were you working that fluke while you were fishing in the current? What was your retrieve?
Usually it was pretty fast. I never really let it get down, get out of sight. It was something that it was constant most all the time. And I'd say it never really got more than 4 or 5 inches below the surface. Almost every bite that I got, I saw the fish visually eat it, and knew I had one on. It wasn't really I felt the bite or I didn't see him eat it, and then my line started swimming off. It was I saw the fish visually eat the bait and caught him.
How long did you wait to set the hook?
Great question.
Pretty quick.
Oh, quick draw.
Yeah, I mean, when you're sitting there, well, can't really say that's the case all the time, but where I was sitting at, the way they were eating it, it was so shallow, there were so many fish, they were so aggressive that when they would come up and eat it, they almost all, had it choked. So as soon as, if you could visually see one eat it, give it a half second to a second, and then I was hitting it. It was pretty quick, really fast paced.
Yeah.
Were you having to weight the bait at all to keep it down? Just the heavy gauge hook?
Nope, just the hook was enough.
Gotcha.
All right, so I got a question, and this is kind of my top 5 for the day that I wanted to, because I had this one thing I wanted to know. One, because Zach is an expert. He said he grew up fishing on rivers. He's had a lot of top finishes when current is involved. We all know that. So Zach, if Bass UTV's taught me anything, it's that now is the time of year to be chasing current, going up rivers, chasing the backs of those creeks. I'm giving you 5 rods this time of year. What's on the business end of those 5 rods? What are your top 5?
A flipping bait, a buzz bait, a walking style topwater bait, a frog, and a square bill.
3 topwaters, everybody.
The frog is kind of like it depends on where you're at type of deal, but lately it's been a big player for me. So yeah, that should cover it.
That's awesome. I wanted a peg.
I would replace the frog with a spinner bait or chatterbait style bait if I had to substitute one.
Okay. Yeah, I know you probably like more than 5 rods, but just trying to put some pressure on you. But good stuff, man. That's great.
I usually have about 15 or so out.
Yeah, I know.
So does that all depend on your water depth though, really? So if it's like a deeper drop or shallower drop, like let's say if it was like, a 4, you got a heavy stream of 4 and it drops down to a 6, would you still stick with the top water, or would you sit there and go with something a little bit more weighted? Or is that something that you figure out during practice?
That's something that you'd figure out during practice, obviously, but I would say the majority of the time I tend to throw a topwater a lot, especially in the fall, and I'll throw it a lot all day long, quite often. I feel like it generates better bites, and you can cover a ton of water doing it. So certain places we go, the water depth doesn't really seem to matter what I'll throw, but there is places we've gone where it has made a difference, and it'll determine what I do. But
so that honestly is one of the bigger differences between, freshwater tournament fishing and redfish tournament fishing, is because, if we know that it's like a drop of more than a foot to 2 feet, we're literally going to put like probably a ½ ounce weight on there, because we're going to bounce on the bottom, because we know as soon as it comes over that ledge and starts heading to the bottom, they're going to sit there and nail it. If we have it towards the top, they're not going to come up necessarily. Even if it was a foot or two, those redfish are not going to come up and bite it unless it's early in the morning. Once that sun comes up, they're not even going to come to the top. They're going to stay right down low with their eyes up. And as soon as they see that bait fish come drop to the bottom or drop down that little bit, that's when they're going to nail it like crazy. So dude, you've taught me a whole bunch, because of course I don't bass fish hardly at all unless I'm with this guy. But still, at the same time, it gives me a better idea, because, if I have a shallower drop, especially in different areas like in Louisiana or especially on the west coast of Florida, if I have a little bit shallower drop or deeper drop, I may try a top water and just to see what the hell happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because if it's working on freshwater, fish act pretty much the same. So I'm going to chop it, though. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you hit there's some similarities with what you said as far as not getting as many bites, because we'll get more bites in the morning, obviously early, and it'll tail off. But the reason I continue to throw it throughout the day, and often all day, is because I know that I might not get as many bites as some people will, but I'll generally get a couple better bites. That's the reason I do it as often as I do it in the fall.
But, and Tiger, the other big difference between fresh and salt is live bait, right?
Dude, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Let's be honest.
Taku uses live bait.
Look here. I'm going to tell you this right now. You will never see live bait at all on my boat whatsoever.
No, seriously.
So
how far below the bobber do you set the minnow? Tell us. We want to know.
Please come down. When you come down and fish with me, I'm going to put the daggone GoPro on. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to watch you do it.
All right.
Live bait. Using live bait is like sitting there going to church and having a curse word in your mouth.
I'm not knocking it.
Just saying.
Brian wants to use live bait.
I do.
He's jealous of it.
I'm old and tired, dude.
At the Woods and Water tournament, man, I was drop shotting earthworms to great success.
That's a great
nailing them.
It's crushing them. Crushing them.
And this is why we don't have nice things.
Oh man. Hey, Rich, I know we have some IMs left. Let me throw it back to you.
Yeah, so the next question I'm going to go with is from Lance McWhorter. Forgive me if I mispronounced your name, but you're going to win a $50 Gillz Gear gift card for this question. And his question is, Zach, how do you think the heavy rains affect the movement of a fish in a river situation? Do they tend to move up and back away from the channels or stick to their normal seams?
I think sometimes that's dependent on what time of the year it is. But I would say, from what I've seen, they usually tend to move up and to a hard bank most of the time. At least from my experience, that's what I've noticed. That's what I would normally tend to go to. If I'm fishing somewhere that I know is going to be, it might be high and dry one day, or I might be fishing a bank that's got 4 foot of water on it, and then we get a lot of rain, and next thing you know, it's 4 foot underwater. I'm probably going to go to the next bank that's still, where the water line may be, and see if those fish have moved there. At least that's going to be my initial approach.
It's interesting, and it's a great question because we've gotten some intense rains, and of course they're raining all over the country. But when we had massive storms here on the Chesapeake, and it blew chocolate mud everywhere, and everybody ran from the dark water except for a few guys. A few guys ran right into it, into the billowing, eddies coming out of the current because it drew bait and it drew some of the predator fish. So rain is it just depends on the intensity and whether it makes the water dark or keeps it clear. There's so many different things involved.
It's a lot of variables.
There's a lot of
variables when you're talking about a current body of water, and especially if you put a tide in there too with rain.
I couldn't believe.
Freak you out.
Yeah, I know. We heard Biffle was running right up into the face of the current, fishing in the dirtiest, fastest water he could find and catching giants. And it just is so. It just lets you know that you got to open up your peripheral and look at things a little bit differently.
No doubt.
But speaking of this, I want Zach. I want to invite you to go watch. I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Bass U Live with Scott Dobson.
Yep.
And he talks about current seams on Lake St. Clair and how it positions fish and how he uses fish. Sorry, Scott, I'm sure you're probably mad at me because you're going to be fishing against Zach in that derby. But
I'm going to go watch that.
Public info.
But it's
guys, Bass University. It's the cheat code to the information bowl.
Yeah, it will. It'll cut some corners
Up,
for you.
down, left, right, A, B, start.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep. And if you want a live bait fish, Tiger's available down in the Tampa area.
If you just on a boat ride, someone's available up there in New Jersey.
You just go for a boat ride.
Scenic tour with a bunch of dolphins swimming around.
That is what we do. We burn 60 gallons of gas and we might get a bite.
Yep.
Oh my God!
Up in this part of the country.
Yeah. Took Aaron Lewis, the lead singer of Stain, out on the Delaware a couple weeks ago. He was in town, and I know somebody that knows him, and me and Mike took him out there. It was brutally hot, and we didn't catch it. It was terrible, man.
Wow.
It was so embarrassing.
You want some cheese with that wine?
Yeah, I mean, I set it up for you. Relax.
Look, come down to Florida.
Anybody could catch them in Florida.
Look,
come catch them up here.
I challenge you to a redfish or bass competition. Me and you, head to head.
Oh,
6 hours.
Oh man,
for the most weight. I don't care.
I smell
what
content.
It is, the most weight in 6 hours. You pick the species.
6 hours.
6 hours.
Come on, dude.
He can barely get his leader knot tied in 6 hours.
Shit. Let's go. I'm talking 16.
Brian, you should go.
Tiger,
I
just got off the water.
Take another vacation.
I fished with Mike. Practiced on the St. Lawrence for 4 straight days from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 4 straight days. 6 hours.
Look, hey, again, you can tell by the tan line on your forehead when you take your hat off.
Hey, Brian, were you actually fishing from 6 to 9?
Yeah, or graphing. We were definitely never sitting still looking at the sunrise.
Surely there's a lot of sleeping and naps for you involved.
Yeah, right. You try that in Mike's boat, bud.
I've been there.
He's got an eye on all 3 graphs, an eye on the water, and an eye on you to make sure you're not sitting there with your phone out the entire time, dude. It is exhausting, but it's a good time.
Yeah,
the dude's still got it, man. He goes hard.
Yeah, I bet.
Well, he does. Speaking of which, I watched My World last night. If you haven't seen it over on CBS Sports, go check it out. It's Ike's new show. And, man, he was impressive going at it with Lane Johnson, the Eagles lineman, just working out with him.
Great show. Must have been the camera boat driver in that show. I'm telling you, it was a damn good one. The angles, the position.
Shout out to Riz.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But at 50 years old, I mean, he was doing pull-ups.
50 years old.
He was doing, gosh, he looked really good on the workout. But They did the Philly where they had to catch a largemouth, a striped bass, a channel cat, and a snakehead, and they did that. But I want to protest the striped bass. It was about as big as this pencil.
Ooh.
So I'm not sure we can count that one. I want to file an official protest on the My World show.
Ooh.
But it was a good show.
Yeah,
it was fun to watch. I can't wait to watch the next one, which is going to be coming.
I can't
out
wait
real
to go
soon.
fish in Florida with Tiger.
I know.
That's right.
Come on,
for
please.
for 6 hours.
Let them go fishing in Florida, Zach. I'm coming to kill some ducks with you. That's what.
Come on, man.
That's where I'm at.
I'm ready.
Just to let you know, though, we kill a lot of ducks in Tampa Bay.
You don't
I
kill
bet.
as many as me.
A lot
You
of
talking about
coots.
duck lips? Them chicks with the duck lip smiles?
Come on.
What are we talking about?
Oh, Zach, I cannot wait to go duck hunting with you and watch you if it weighs so many shells.
Out of
Y'all
the
keep on
field.
talking all that trash.
With or without
okay.
skirts.
Either way. Either way sounds good.
Off of mine, just saying.
That sounds like a different show again. But
I need a beer.
yeah. Well, Zach, let me. Where guys want to follow you on social and Gillz.
Oh, Gillz. Zach, you got a Gillz Gear bag there with you?
I'm getting all kinds of information thrown at me from 15 different ways. But Zach's got a Gillz Gear bag, and he hasn't opened it yet. Is that what's going on over there? Is that,
Yes, sir.
Let's look at. Let's have a peek inside. I want to look inside.
I was told that this would be here at noon today, but I was not allowed to open this bag.
Well, at least you got yours.
So
ours are still in
I have
transit.
not opened it.
You can blame the shipping company.
That's right. We blame the shipping company for a lot.
Yes.
Allowed to open it now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I blame Darren Brooks and you.
Yeah. It's Darren's fault.
Yeah. You can never have a signature required. It always falters the overnight delivery every time.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I told that son of a brick that I said no signature required.
We believe you, bud.
Let's not rehash that phone call he had with the shipping company.
I was ready. What you got there, Bubba?
All right, so here's a cup.
Yes.
Here's a cup.
Does that bash you on it?
No, I don't know. This is a red one. That's a Gillz one.
Might have
I made the
Bass Cat.
Bass U one special.
We love it. We love it, Tiger.
I can't wait to get my BTC cup.
If you win the Florida Derby, maybe you will.
Yes.
Looks like
Pro
Woody.
Series Full Zip Storm Fleece.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. Yep. That's the new one. Another one of the new storm fleeces. I know you're gonna need that when you go to Detroit. God.
Oh, I can't wait to go back north. I'm already dying at home from the heat.
It's still hot up here, man. After this hurricane goes through, I think we're going to see some fall weather finally.
Yeah, it was 100. It was like 100 here today. I'm over it. I've been here like 4 days and I already can't wait to leave.
I believe that's the tournament hoodie, right? Or the packable.
This is tournament pant.
Pants?
It's the lightweight jacket.
Oh, hell yeah.
The lightweight rain. That's the new lightweight rain jacket.
This is the one I tried on, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the lighter weight one, not the foul weather one, because the foul weather one we're rolling out in a couple more weeks.
Okay.
That's the one Tiger's we did a TikTok video that's going to show up. He folded it up in about 10 seconds.
All right, let's see. This is Tournament Series UV shirt.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice pattern.
Yeah, keeping it fresh, but at the same time, you notice that with that one, you feel a little bit different thickness in that shirt compared to the summer and springtime shirts.
It felt more thin.
Yep, it's a little bit different, but at the same time, the biggest part of it is that it's windproof. that really helps block out some of that cold wind that blows through.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Let's see. You got a bunch of stuff shoved in this small bag.
So live bait or no live bait, Tiger?
Hey.
In the tournament. I'm good either way.
Hey, you know, tomato. That's
right.
the new one, the new tournament hoodie in black.
That's sharp.
Yeah.
That's sleek right there.
It's clean.
Shout out to Bill Sleek.
Yep. It's anti-Brian.
There we go.
Because it's clean.
A rivalry
Yeah,
is born.
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with minnows, man.
Here's what. Oh, I like that.
I like that one too. Yeah.
Pull that sleeve out a little bit, Zach. The sleeve, because it shows a difference. Because we did the solid color in the middle, but on the outside, on the sleeve and the shoulders and on the hood, we changed it with a little bit different pattern.
It's every mid-30s chick with an arm sleeve.
Well, again, so many things I want to say.
No, I don't say I don't like it. I love it, dude. I wish I had mine right now.
I'm just talking about your mid-30s chick.
I ain't got none of them.
That's the navy blue one.
She used to be.
I like that one, man.
It's got
Yeah.
same
You got thanks.
different design.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
with a
I like that
emblem in the
vented,
middle.
vented shoulder and sleeve to it.
Nice.
Yep. I mean, those are the perfect ones to sit there and pair up with, like the Storm Fleece full zip, because again, when you have that Storm Fleece on, you may get a little bit hotter. But the good part is that when you have that vented hoodie on, or even the vented shirt, you still won't sit there and feel like you're blistering hot, because it'll still pull that moisture away from your body, spread it out all along the entire fabric, and that way it still keep you cool, but at the same time keep you warm, because you're not going to be sweating and then all of a sudden freezing.
Right.
You still digging in that bag, Zach?
I still got a quarter of it left.
Oh man,
That ain't
I
right.
I protest. I think Zach might have got a bigger bag than JK.
I'm counting the items.
Those are the new tournament pants, like Justin had here. Those are going to be extremely comfortable.
Put them on.
And Zach, when you get a chance, if you could, dude, literally post out like a message about them, how you really like them. Okay. And then if there's any feedback you have, please do not hesitate to let me know, because I've had them on. I tried them out, like even in August. They were phenomenal, even in hotter weather.
Yeah. Want to see what's going on? No.
Want to see what's in that bag?
Black version.
Yep, those are the new packable water or rain pants that we have. So if, like with you, just Zach, I know you wear a large pant, so at least those are large, but they're actually a size bigger, so that way you can wear them over your pants and shorts and not sit there and have to worry about being so tight. They're still extremely loose. That way, when you're rolling through like hard weather, going full blast with the boat, or even out sitting there and casting wise, it's not going to be clung and tight to you. You're still going to have a lot of that movement. That way, you can still be extremely flexible in everything that you do.
Right.
And free swinging.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Free swing.
You know what I mean? Got to keep it swinging. Swanging.
Well, speaking of, we got more. You got another pair of pants?
Oh my God, that's 3.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, check out Zach. I know you're going to be posting this stuff. Zach, if they want to follow you on social media, where can they do it?
Pretty much everywhere. Zack Birge Fishing on Facebook, Instagram, Zack Birge Fishing, YouTube, Zack Birge Fishing. I'm on all of them. It's me personally responding to everything, so you don't have random. You never know who you're talking to. It'll be me, so feel free to ask me anything. Follow us. Have a good time with us.
Awesome. Well, we love all the Gillz gear. The bag is empty. And thanks so much, Tiger. It's amazing gifts, and this is going to be your opportunity, Tiger, because BTC just fished a major derby up on the St. Lawrence River, and I think this is an opportunity for you guys to exchange about how things went. If he used live bait, how much better things could have went.
Dude, I tried. I mean, first of all, this is my first introduction to an actual goby. Them things are freaking adorable, man.
They're spineless.
They're like the little gremlins from that movie back in the 80s.
Yeah, they look like little gremlins.
Yes, they
That
do.
should say that.
Yep.
He said adorable.
They are, man. They're so squishy and adorable. I'm like, Mike, we got to take these home. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Jersey could use some of these. But
You tell me I didn't take them home, put them in Lake X.
Hell yeah. Things are amazing. They are. They're so cute. But yeah, I drop shot. I mean, sometimes you catch them; they're 4, 5, 6 inches. I tried drop shotting them; they didn't bite it. So my bait was overrated. Max Sen outperformed it.
Outperformed live gobies.
It kills me because Brian reminds me of that little kid sitting on the front of the boat with a little styrofoam cup full of daggone earthworms sitting in there.
That's where I started.
Sitting there going, "Oh my God, look at it, it's so sprinkly." He has to get Daddy, which is Mr. Iconelli, sit there and hook his worm for him the whole 9 yards.
Did you make Ike retie your leaders?
No, I didn't.
I think he made him put the damn worm on the hook though.
But sometimes when you just went through your 6th leader of the day, you know what? We're gonna drag a Carolina rig for a while.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what? I've reached my limit on snag and drop shot weights today. Okay, so here's my big takeaway from fishing that event. We practiced for 4 straight days, and then the event came around. Co-anglers, I implore you, and anybody really, you practice with lead, then you fish a tournament with tungsten if you really feel you need to. Because at the end of 4 days, I did not need to go out there and snag any more damn tungsten weights. Jeez, that got stressful, man.
$2.
Oh, the hell with that. And I got another observation. So my day one partner, his home body of water's the Detroit River, so he's a smallmouth guy. He was drop shotting with steel. Now you remember steel weights? They're bigger than lead. They're like twice the size of lead.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who was getting snagged a whole hell of a lot less?
The bigger bait.
The guy with the big weight,
Yeah.
not getting caught up in all the zebra masal.
Right, because you were drifting. And when you're drifting, I mean, you are victimized by getting snagged.
Oh, I could tell you every one of them.
Got names for them.
Yeah.
Were you using the same size? Were the same size weight between lead and steel though? The same
Tungsten, lead, steel. I mean, steel. It was.
What about the leader length?
So, Zach can attest to this. When you're shooting, especially for ducks, you can't shoot for lead, but lead travels a hell of a lot faster in a shot. But when you shoot steel is so much more heavier that it drops quicker. So is that the same thing when it comes to fishing? Like if you're using a lead weight compared to a steel weight or
lead's a lot heavier than steel. And tungsten's heavier than lead. Tungsten's heavier
but for
than
the
more
same weight.
But for the same weight though, because that
steel is going to be bigger. So therefore, with all those
Right.
rocks and crevices, it's not going to get hung
It's
up.
less apt to get snagged. And therefore,
Yeah, it's not going to snag. BTC, I want to know what the shape, cylindrical, teardrop, or ball for your guy who was drop shot and steel.
He was using pyramid.
It was close. It was kind of more like a bell.
Yeah. Okay. Teardrop.
Yeah, kind of like a teardrop. Yep. But
Zach, when you asked about the leader length, were you asking about was he using a different leader length for lead to steel, or just?
Yeah, I was more curious about his leader length, being he had a bigger weight, if that made a difference or not.
It was about the same as what I was rolling with, which was 12 to 16.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to make a difference at all.
No, I mean, I caught him maybe a little bit better, but I mean, fucking BTC, bro. It's not fair. It's not fair. I'm BTC.
But so you got introduced to drifting, and that was you were fishing in major current, and one of the things that we talked about was guys were measuring the speed of their drift.
That's it, JK. Yes.
In this.
Yeah, I was wondering. I know you're not from up that area, Zach, but I mean, how much do you get dialed into the speed of the drift and things like that?
Oh, I don't. I suck at that. That's why I throw a crankbait.
Yeah, Mike too. I mean, he doesn't suck at it, but he doesn't pay attention to it.
I mean, I'm not.
He's on his graph.
I'm not terrible at it, but I pay more attention to other things.
Yeah, yeah. Because some guys they get out in an area and just drift a shoal or whatever.
I don't have the patience for that. I can't do it.
Yeah, same with Mike. He was keying in on like real specific stuff.
Yeah, if I can find like something off the wall or a particular couple boulders that have one, I'll drift those boulders or that particular small part of that shoal. I'll do it and do it.
Yep.
But I can't just meander and drift and hope that in a certain part of it I get 2 or 3 bites real quick. I just don't have the patience for that.
Yep.
And that I think that's a lot about what the guys that are measuring their miles an hour drifts are doing, is they're covering massive areas versus guys that are targeting pinpoint habitat.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, the technology is such you can tell exactly where they are and aren't for the most part right now. There's times where they get so tight to the bottom that you ain't seeing them, right?
It's
no
really
doubt.
It's hard to see them up there.
Say again?
Really, it's really hard to see them up there.
Yeah.
When I was up there last, that's the reason I didn't see any of the fish in the places I was fishing until I threw a crankbait by them and saw 4 or 5 come up off the bottom and eat it on active target. I mean, I wouldn't even have known they were there until I saw them come up and chase my crankbait and run it down. And some would eat it, some wouldn't, but I would know that there was multiple fish there.
Oh yeah.
And I would come back and make another pass through it with something else, or just make another pass with the crankbait, and then I'd get one to bite.
Yeah.
Right. They can't hide. They can't hide from the aqua view. That's a cool thing too.
I was dying to use it, but I didn't even bother.
Yeah.
Mike never sat still long enough for that thing to get in the water.
Hey, here's a fascinating thing that applies to all these bodies of water. This is crazy, but the zebra mussels are going away.
Really?
Wake up. It's happening. You can see it on the beaches. The zebra mussel shells are white and they're everywhere. The rocks that used to be coated with them all over are now just here and there. Same thing's happening at Champlain. I don't know what the answer is, but I just was up at Thousand Islands and I saw it with my own eyes. And I interviewed a guy that scuba dives, but the zebra mussels are going away. Now his theory was that the gobies are eating the zebra mussels, and I don't subscribe to that theory. But there's something going on with the zebras because they're starting.
Well, everything's cyclic. I guess they used what they were surviving off of or thriving off of. So
something's eating them.
What do gobies eat, Pete?
You know, I don't know the answer to that, but they don't have crunchers. They don't have a mouth that can crunch a mussel. So,
well, up to 60. This Google search says round gobies are voracious feeders. Up to 60% of their diet is made up of mussels in some places.
Wow.
Does that mean in the Great Lakes they prey on zebra mussels? There it is. So maybe that is why.
Don't feed them
Google,
after dark.
Just Google, not Bash UTV. Google.
So the zebra mussels go away. In turn, the gobies will also start to go away.
You're right.
40% of their diet on something else. They just might not be as packed with protein.
Well, we know that they swarm the bass nests and they eat the eggs. They eat everything in sight. Anything that goes on the bottom, they eat.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was just a far statement that I heard this week.
I think I might be a goby.
Maybe not.
Eat everything in sight.
Yeah.
I was very interested in that after you brought that up. I'm going to look some more.
Brian's going to be out there with a rake trying to find up as many zebra mussels as he can.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
In a garlic and butter sauce. I don't care, dude.
With a little bit of linguine.
That's right. So in 15 years, the St. Lawrence will be one on largemouth again?
Wow, it's all cyclical, like you said. But the zebras were around for 20 years or more, and they cleaned up the water, and the gobies exploded. The bass got huge. You're right. There's got to be some kind of aftermath that's going to be happening next.
Hey, Zach, did you know we learned this, was it last show or the one before, 2 weeks ago, that Pete actually predates the gobies? he's pre-goby Pete.
I am pre-goby Pete. Dude, we were fishing bass smallmouth up at Thousand Islands that were feeding on emerald shiners and perch. That was the deal. That's what they used to feed on.
Yep.
And
using oars.
Yeah, a compass and a sail.
Yeah,
but that's what we used to do. And but now the gobies came in, the bass, the smallmouth got huge. I remember the largemouth would win every tournament on Thousand Islands.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a lack of knowledge of how to fish for smallmouth?
Nah.
Or was it that the largemouth were bigger?
There's so many smallmouth there right now.
It's the bubble gonna burst, Brian?
That's
oh
what you're
my
saying.
God.
You're saying that the zebras are going.
The zebras are going.
The zebras are going.
The zebras are going.
The gobies will follow.
What's gonna happen next?
And snakeheads.
Let's bring some milfoil and
something,
snakeheads.
Something else from
Thousand
China
Islands.
will come over and take its place.
Yeah.
So Zach, I don't know if this is like a secret question, but what is your go-to colors when you're sitting there fishing that current water? Like, what is does it depend on the water clarity itself, or is there a color that you know that you're confident in that if you throw, no matter if it's a hard, if it's a plastic, whatever, that you know you're going to get whacked on?
A lot of it depends on watercolor. That's the first variable, but I would try to stay as natural as possible personally. But a lot depends on watercolor. I mean, a lot of things with colors and plastics and stuff, I feel like people take it too far. I feel like some companies make colors, throw colors together and variations of different things that is more to catch the eye and to sell product, versus if you narrow it down and keep it simple, there's only so many variations of crawfish or brim or shad that you're chasing. So, I don't feel like there's every color in the rainbow that needs to be thrown into various different colors. If you just keep it simple, I feel like you're better off. That's
all
what
right. So if I was a artificial lure manufacturer and I said, Zach, I need a color for muddy water and I need a color for clear water, what would they be?
It'd be black and blue, black neon, green pumpkin, watermelon, and maybe a variation of red or orange in a couple of those. That's what I try to stick with.
No whites at all?
I mean, the only time I use white is if I'm bed fishing and I'm really struggling to see something, I'll use it. Or like throwing a dart or something like that for schooling fish, but that's shad related, bait fish related. That's, there's reasons to do that. That's about it. I throw a methylate color trick worm some, certain places, times of the year. That's really as wild as it gets for me.
Makes a lot of sense. So basically, dark water, stick to dark colors, lighter water, stick to lighter colors then, basically, right?
If it's cleaner, I'll just stick more natural.
Gotcha.
Cleaner gets more natural, I'll try to stay.
Tiger stick to live bait.
You see your little bloodworms, little boy.
Zach, hey, so what have we learned? We've learned that the gobies are eating zebras, that apparently that, the Scott Dobson video is a must watch because it shows you the seams. Whenever possible, use live bait. And,
Absolutely, I'm in.
It's been a great night. And Zach, we're gonna let you go, buddy. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us and all our goofing around. We learned a lot from you, and we're all going to be watching up at Lake St. Clair, buddy.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me again. Tiger, thanks for everything. Thanks for the package. Look forward to working with you and good things to come.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, buddy. And good luck this coming week, dude. I greatly appreciate all your support and everything. So keep at it, dude. Just keep fishing hard as you're doing, dude. You're doing a great job. Appreciate you.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
All right. Zack Birge, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was great. We're getting into quite a ball busting session over here, but it's fun. It's good stuff. And,
I might have to do a mashup of the cut where Brian says he wants to use live bait with Ken Duke, and then pair that with the smash session that these guys just got into.
I like it.
I got no problem admitting it, dude.
If I remember correctly, you said like live bait, a bimini top, and a cool drink. Like
live bait, a bimini top, cool drink, and a comfy chair.
Yeah,
dude, I got
and
like
it's got to be skirtless. No skirt.
No skirt.
No skirt.
The skirt. That's right.
Even better.
Take
right?
the skirt off.
Could you imagine if you got a goby, you hooked it with like a 5/0 flipping hook, and you put a punch skirt on that son of a gun with a 1 ounce weight, bombing that thing through some mats? Come on.
Dude, you ever look in their face? They got such sad eyes, man.
Yeah, because they know they're going to get eaten by a 5-pound smallmouth. Their whole existence is to get eaten.
How much would it cost you, though? $5, $4.99, but
for what? A goby?
No, for your skirtless bait.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. But speaking
about
of the skirtless chatterbait, I as soon as you started talking about that, I found them on Tackle Warehouse. So they're already
They're sitting in his cart.
Yeah. And guys, if you're on the Bash U message board, I shared a Tackle Warehouse wish list for you guys over there. So if you're interested in that chatterbait, it's on the message board. Just copy and paste that into your browser.
And gobies. We got some gobies on there.
And live minnows.
Yeah.
Earthworms.
Corey,
all
Tackle Warehouse, if you're listening, start selling live bait.
Start selling gobies.
Just, dry ice, ship it out.
Yes.
But, we have a trivia question tonight. Are we ready to ask the trivia question?
Yeah. We're ready to roll that out. The trivia question, guys, and as always, we need details, okay? What was Zach's setup for the bait that he used at the Mississippi River? We're looking for line size, hook size, and bait, okay? Line size, hook size, and the bait, okay? What was Zach's setup that he used on the Mississippi River?
Were you taking notes?
And I need it all in one message, guys. Don't send me 6 different messages with each component. Give it to me in one message. I had 2 teachers in all my classes in high school. Come on, make it easy for me.
That's great.
See, I already see one coming through. It's all broken up.
It's all broken
I can't
up.
follow it.
Hey, that was a great segment though, JK in particular, because you and I have talked about the pop
Need the
rivet,
hook type too, guys.
the treble
Need the hook type.
versus this braided line, direct tie. Man, it's like you just gotta measure your strike to catch in every situation, and you got to make the adjustment. I think what the biggest thing that I've learned is there's another adjustment.
Boom, we got a winner.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to pull out of that is the behavior, how the fish are eating the bait. Or where are they coming from to get it? I really think that matters. And call me really too analytical or not, but like I really think that matters especially with that fluke thing. But
maybe and I'm not disagreeable, but it's like we had smallmouth versus largemouth, current based situations. Man, there's so many variables to account for. I love the exposed treble hook because it's got to be a better hookup ratio. but how can you argue with the fact that he stuck every single one, man? That's an amazing strike to catch ratio. And I'm going to throw it over to you, Riz, for the winner.
Yeah, we have a winner. It was Bassmaster 2K2, and the combination is 15-pound braid with a fluke and a 5/0 EWG hook.
All right.
Did I miss something there?
Was it a fluke?
Yes.
Well, yeah, it was a fluke style bait.
That it was a fluke style bait.
Yeah.
It was not a fluke. It was a fluke style bait,
Fluke
but it
style
wasn't a fluke.
All right.
So I got a question for you, bunch of freshwater boys. What do you think the most versatile bait, artificial wise, that is used for both bass, largemouth, smallmouth, and saltwater between trout, redfish, and snook is? The most versatile bait, color and type.
I gotta go with the fluke style bait in some type of white or white pattern. That's what I see everybody throwing.
Tiger, run that by one more time. With the species?
The most versatile, but literally, if you want to go, like you guys up north, you guys want to go to the Delaware River, what bait are you going to throw in the river, then turn around and go out to, let's say if you go down to Lewis, Delaware, and you're fishing the haystacks and whatever for either flounder or trout, or if you're coming down to Florida and throwing for red and snook.
I'm changing my answer.
Bait?
I'm changing my answer. My answer is now it's going to be a swim bait. It's going to be a boot tail style swim bait of some variety. Relatively 4.5 inch kind of variety. That's going to get you through both scenarios. That's my choice.
What color?
Well, I mean, if I had to pick a color, it's going to be a shad style color. A white, a whitish, silhouette. Some translucency. It depends on the watercolor. If I had to pick a color, white. Ish.
Well, I will tell you guys this. I've caught largemouth, smallmouth, trout, snook, reds, and flounder on the chatterbait with a pearl white 4-inch diesel. And you know how you have there's a special dye. It's more like a yellow compared to maybe a red. You can actually mix them. There's a special dye you can dip the tail into that actually has like a little garlic scent to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's truly that garlic scent. If you look at any aquarium booklet out there or even go online, garlic actually triggers all fish feeding frenzy. So if you start an aquarium and they're not eating because they're new to it, if you put like a little bit of garlic, it causes a feeding frenzy. So this special dye that we're able to use is I'll use a pearl white, I'll dip it into the chartreuse, and then I'll dip it into the red, let it dry and chunk it out on a chatterbait. And I've caught all species on that one lure alone. And that's just from me, but that's the one that's always worked. Like it's always tied to any rod that I put on the boat. What's
a diesel minnow? Does that have
It's a Z-Man.
Is it a fork tail or a boot tail?
Boot.
And it is unbelievable because I don't sit there and do a steady retrieve. It's you retrieve a little bit of pop, but you don't let that line go slack. That's
you let it sit there, boom.
Yep. Every gosh darn time where I fished the muddiest water you could possibly think of there in Louisiana for redfish. I fished some of the cleanest water you could possibly think of there in, Stanahatchee, Crystal River to up there in the Delaware River in the Delaware Bay. That bait has worked for me every single time I've gone to any location to fish whatever species. That's my one go-to bait.
You have fished the Delaware Bay?
Dude, my baby brother lives there in Laurel.
Get out of here.
Yep, my brother is a flock manager for Purdue. So I go up to Delaware quite often to go visit him. To either we're going to hunt or we're going to go fish either over in the Chesapeake or we'll run over to the Delaware Bay or we'll run up to the Delaware River.
You ain't running the Delaware River.
Oh, let's think about it.
Come on.
Delaware is
You
about
got the
as long as
Chesapeake
what,
there, and you're going to come to the Delaware? Knock it off. Delaware's brutal.
I've literally fished them all with my baby brother.
Yeah.
And every time we go, we both have it tied up where he may throw like a purple with a chartreuse tail, but I always stick to my white with a chartreuse tail with a dip into a little bit like it's a little red, so it causes it to be like a little bit purplish.
Yeah.
But it's worked every time. But I literally believe that it's that little bit of garlic scent on it that causes them to go absolutely crazy on every single time that I've gone fishing.
How heavy's that chatterbait? That
Only
saltwater?
quarter, right?
I throw a quarter.
Quarter?
Yeah.
Quarter.
Quarter?
I throw a quarter where it's got, so they call it either the redfish eye or you have the trout eye jig head on it. It's usually like a probably a 4, maybe a 5/0 hook where you sit there 4-inch throwing it out there, and it's literally not a steady retrieve, but you're doing a little bit pop, a little bit pop, and every time I've always caught every species that was in that area on that bait. It is my always go-to bait.
Right on. No,
And
I'll bet you. I think a chatterbait's extremely versatile bait.
No doubt.
Yep.
No
You had
doubt.
the little swim bait, boot tail.
Yeah.
I could see that. You
For
know?
sure. For sure.
Yep. And this is what the crazy part is. I've even caught tuna and mahi on the same bait offshore.
You caught tuna on that bait?
Yep. Tuna on that bait. Because you got to think, when we're out there chumming,
It's
like
Florida,
between 3 and 4-inch pilchers, we're sitting there chumming them out there. You throw that artificial out, give it the same action when you're chunking it as far as you can, reel it in with a little pop, let it sink a little bit, reel it, pop, let it sink, and drilled every gosh darn time. Either it's going to be a tuna or a mahi on all of it.
Blackfin?
Literally caught damn near every fish you could think of, sport fishing wise, on that bait.
Blackfin?
Yep, blackfins.
Yeah. I've caught them reeling a spoon straight in. A spoon that's just basically a knife. It's like a slab of steel that you jig off the bottom.
What were you gonna? What did you say, silver buddy? Was that your bait?
No. I'm just talking about the blackfins.
Because that was gonna be my bait to be able to catch fish on it. Catch fish in all 3 scenarios. You said I'm going to use
choice.
I'm going to use the silver buddy because I know I can catch a bass on it. I know. What was the other? You said striper, weakfish, flounder. I'm pretty sure I can make a flounder bite it if I get in front of him and I snap it hard enough. He's going to react to it. Probably make a redfish eat it too if they're on the bottom and they want to feed off the bottom. I snap that thing up, or I'll just snag them because it's got treble hooks.
That's
on
right.
it, so.
JK, what do you got?
Oh, spoon. Gold spoon catches everything.
There you go.
Saltwater.
But believe it or
Rooster
not,
tail.
it's not
Rooster tail too.
Yeah, rooster tails are good. But believe it or not, it's not the treble hooks. It's usually the straight J hook.
Okay.
Treble hooks, like especially in saltwater wise, for some reason, like redfish cannot stand a treble hook. But at the same time, where you're casting, you're gonna get hung up on grass. You're gonna get hung up on oyster bars. No matter even if you're offshore and you've got grass around, especially when you're fishing for mahi, that treble hook's gonna hook that grass every time. So you go with a nice weedless J hook, is perfect, especially when you're on that chatterbait. You know, that chatterbait kind of keeps that grass away, especially the way you move it. It's not going to get hung up in all the grass.
I'm going live goby.
You're going with live earthworm.
I'm going live goby.
Dude,
it's my choice.
Dude, you got a drop shot. You got to thread the zebra mussels on a drop shot number one hook, and you get the goby to bite that, and then you just hang on until the smallmouth bites the goby.
I dropped the goby. I did until he gave up, and then I dropped another one and another. And it's like, all right, dropping gobies ain't working.
I love it.
I was hoping to catch a pike or muskie or something. You know?
Dude, the muskies. Oh my gosh, we had a at the house we stayed at. The guy caught a 30-pound muskie, and it was a fiberglass duplicate replica on the wall. It was pretty awesome. And we went into the Thousand Islands bait shop, and we saw muskies like in the 50-pound range. Yeah. Amazing fish. But Hey, we've got a Facebook like and share contest that's going on. This is your last chance. Riz is about to give away the prize for our Facebook like and share winner. So you haven't done it, do it right now. You got 10 seconds.
Yeah, you got 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. I'm getting things set up here to
I want to thank Tiger
winner.
for coming on tonight, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
it was a blast.
Yeah, it was a blast.
You're
Good
a blast,
to hang with
buddy.
You. And I look forward to catching up, and hopefully I can get down there and fish with you soon.
Dude, absolutely. I greatly appreciate you guys. You know, we have a great relationship. I love building our relationship. It's going a long way. You guys have done a lot for us, especially in the freshwater game. You guys actually inspired us to do a lot of different things, especially color-wise, different pattern-wise on it. So we greatly appreciate you guys' input. And I encourage you guys, you know, if you guys go out, especially the ones that win the gift card, you buy our gear. If there's something you don't like about it, shoot me an email. It's simple. It's tiger@gilz-gear.com. If there's something you'd like to see or something you don't like, let me know about it, because we love more information, try to better our product to sit there and suit you guys for every type of fishing that you guys do. We really, really, truly appreciate this relationship. You know, I've built a great relationship with you guys, with Justin and everybody. It's been a phenomenal, and I can't wait to look forward to spring and next year, because spring is really going to be spring is setting a true new tone for Gilz. That's a fact. Our new lineup that we've got coming out is, you know, we have a lot of the saltwater type colors, saltwater type patterns, but at the same time, we've got the freshwater where it's a lot of the solids, a lot of the different neutral colors and everything that people are more comfortable with. And, you know, Pete, we're helping you out because we redesigned our whole shirt. You know, we got our grandpa's shirt out ready to rock and roll. So.
Well, not everybody can be as handsome of a grandpa as me.
You ain't lying, but I'm gonna take it right now. Pete in that shirt looks like I want to be Hugh Hefner, for God's sakes.
I was just thinking of a robe. I didn't know if you guys were coming out with a robe and slippers.
I want to put the Do 3 Gilz logo on the daggone pipe and say, "Here you go, Bubba. Have that." Yeah.
You know,
no, dude, it's been awesome.
Skirts are optional.
Skirts optional.
Yeah.
Skirts optional.
It's optional.
Leave the skirt at home.
I love coming on the show with you guys because, you know, every time I come on, it's an absolute blast. We all get along. We're all professional anglers at some point. I mean, Brian, I quote yours, professional.
You know, hey.
Professional live bait.
That's right.
Professional goby drowner.
That's right. I just make plays, folks. I just
Great
make plays.
relationship, and you know, I couldn't ask for anything more from you guys. You guys are awesome. I greatly appreciate everything.
Awesome.
We feel
Thanks,
the same
man.
way, buddy. Really appreciate it. And Riz, give us the winner.
That's right. Tonight's Facebook like and share winner is Warren Beard from Massachusetts. Congratulations, Warren Beard.
Warren.
You won tonight's Facebook like and share. Thank you for supporting the Bash University Live.
That's right.
Excellent.
I want to thank my partners from the St. Lawrence last week, the Bass U subscriber,
Yes.
and the
There you
guy
go.
that don't have the internet.
Nice.
That wants to subscribe, you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
we can't hurt them for that.
We'll
But
invent the internet.
Nathan Troyanak or
Yep.
something. Yeah,
Awesome.
All right.
He was a blast. We had a good time.
yeah, it was a great show. You know, I want to thank everybody for participating. What do we got?
We got one more we got one more awesome prize that we got to give away. I forgot I picked this before we got too far into it. Our Empire Covers winner. We got to announce the winner of our Empire Covers contest
Justin,
tonight.
sing the jingle.
Empire Covers, we got you covered for
Come on,
everything
JK.
you need.
Let's hear it.
Folks at home, protect your investment with Empire Covers. Thank you to everybody who participated in the contest. But with no further ado, the winner is Nick Epler. ID
Epler.
Outdoors won on the Instagram side of things. Thank you for your
Yes.
participation, guys. And if you haven't checked them out yet, please go check out empire.covers.com. It's an affordable way to protect your investment. They got you from boats to cars to grills to patio furniture, whatever it is, Empire Covers has your back. Congratulations, Nick Epler. You're the winner of the Empire Covers contest.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Empire.covers.com.
Yes. And use code BASHU21 to save at checkout.
150,000% off.
Yep. Hey, thanks everybody for watching. It was great. Tiger, thank you so much for being part of Bash University. We really appreciate you. We honestly, we love the gear. We love wearing it. And it was a lot of fun. And we look forward. Next time you come to Delaware Bay, you better call us. And we're all coming to Florida. And wish you the best.
Come on.
Go ahead.
Come on down. I invite all you guys to come on down. Just give me a call and let me know. Because I'll put the boat in the water and let's roll.
All right.
That way, sit there and show Brian how to not use an artificial bait to catch a fish.
We will bring the gobies.
That's right.
And we're on our way.
A shout out to Alex Neher over there running the YouTubes for us.
Alex.
Yes.
Shout out to Alex.
Every show we end, and I say, damn it, I forgot to shout out Alex.
Alex, we appreciate you.
I got it in this
very, very much, and appreciate you being part of Bash University. JK, thank you. And it's great to hang out with you. And I got another finger. What else we got?
Happy birthday, somebody.
Happy birthday to Tiger.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, my goodness. Happy birthday,
right.
brother.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And we can sing happy birthday to him.
That's right.
44 years young tomorrow.
JK, you want to lead us
tomorrow.
in a round of happy birthday on our way out?
Lord
No,
Jesus.
but I'll share this picture. We celebrated, and he got sang to earlier.
That's beautiful. Awesome. That was so awesome. I love that Tiger cookie cake.
That's a happy
Yeah, buddy. It was delicious. Me and the kids had a blast. The next thing you know, the kids are sitting there running all over the place like a daggone, like a chicken with his head cut off.
Yeah, made bedtime tough on Catherine for sure.
Like a goby looking for a zebra mussel.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Look at you, Pete. Look at you. On fire.
We're closing it up strong. All right. All right. We're going to let you guys go. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be right. Hey, next week, we're going to be back live from the Open on Thousand Islands. So look for that.
Okay.
Bash University Live next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Tiger, thank you so much. JK, Riz, BTC, thank you guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll see you next week.